nation's capital where the XFL rolls on. It's week 5 and the drama continues to build. It's a perfect day to watch some football. The BattleHawks fans and the Defenders fans out in full force. And away we go from D.C.
Man, D.C. District in the house!
Another day to get better, baby. Come on, we gotta take advantage of it. We got to.
It's a great opportunity to go number 1 today. I'm excited because they let us out the cage to go play. Let's go to D.C. on 3. 1, 2, 3. D.C.
For the love of football.
Tamu on the key.
This honestly means a lot to me, just to be able to continue playing the sport I love.
Touchdown!
This is an opportunity of a lifetime.
Cardell's not scared.
Opportunity to play professional ball.
He is not backing down.
These guys absolutely love the game of football. For some, it might be the last moments of their professional days, but others are here to shine, to be a name that you remember.
Inside the 5, and he's in!
Another big play.
Today, 2 teams going in opposite directions meet in the nation's capital. The BattleHawks, with their massive home field advantage, now have to keep momentum going on the road, where Cardell Jones and the Defenders have bowled quite well.
From the first whistle to the last whistle.
It's the XFL.
My goal is at the end of the year, holding up that championship trophy with my teammates and celebrating.
Because we all just love the game.
And here come the D.C. Defenders on their home turf. Boy, are they happy to be back. It's the XFL on FS1, the BattleHawks and the Defenders this afternoon. And here's what is at stake as we take a look to the East standings. St. Louis has been maybe the best team in the league, at least right behind Houston. They're 3-1. The Guardians have really caught fire now. You see, they're right in the mix. So for D.C., this is a big game trying to keep pace with the frontrunners in the East Division. As we welcome you to the broadcast booth. That's right. Good to see you on a Sunday afternoon. My partner, you know him, 3-time Pro Bowl tight end, Greg Olsen, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. And so let's start with St. Louis, Greg. They've been terrific. Only 1 loss on the year. That was a game we did to Houston. Probably should have won the game. A couple of turnovers doomed them there. But the bottom line is they have turned into an RPO offensive machine led by their quarterback, Jordan Ta'amu.
They have. St. Louis, they have a little bit of a different approach here in this XFL offensive world, and they don't shy away from it. They are a run-first team. They got 3 great backs. But as you said, it all starts with their quarterback, Jordan Ta'amu. They come at you from so many different directions. Here, just a simple zone read, RPO style play to Matt Jones, big chunk play. You know, they can, again, the next time he ends up pulling the ball to try to make the throw on the RPO, defender takes the play around. What am I going to do? I'm just going to put the ball down. I'm just going to go run and pick up a first down. And then the last layer, off that run game, here comes their RPO passing game. Pulls the ball out of the running back, hits to Mornay Pearsonell for a big touchdown last week. They're so versatile. They're so balanced, run and pass. And it all starts with this guy pulling the shots at quarterback. He's a special player.
Yeah, coming off his best game of the year. He was the offense last week, and that's why St. Louis is 3-1. Meanwhile, for the Defenders, they got off to a great start. They won their first 2 games at home. They did everything right. They got the turnovers. They converted them to points. You see 29 points a game. Last 2 games were on the road, and quite honestly, they stunk. It was the total opposite of what happened the first 2 games. So you got 2 at home, great. 2 on the road, not so great. Who are these Defenders, Greg Olsen?
Well, I think that's what they're trying to figure out. I think Coach Pep Hamilton has to be a little alarmed. They came storming out of the gates. I remember we had them a few weeks back, and we're saying, is this the best team in the league? And then after the last 2 games, we say, they could be the worst team in the league. I think today, against a really good St. Louis team, they're going to find out, we're all going to find out, who are the D.C. Defenders, and I'm looking forward to seeing them match up today for what should be a great game.
Back home, I know they feel good about that. At least their head coach does, Pep Hamilton, because he's now with the 3rd member of our team, as usual, Jenny Taft.
Kevin, thank you. Pep, D.C. started the season so strong. There have been some growing pains offensively last couple of weeks, but you're back home. So what do you need to see early to get back on track?
Just stay in the moment, focus on winning each play, you know, and come out here and have a fun-filled day of football and play our brand of football.
No secret, St. Louis, they're going to run the football. They're doing it well. How do you disrupt them?
We got to stop the run, and we got to score early to put a little pressure on them so that they just can't commit to running the football.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Jenny, Coach, thank you very much. So the BattleHawks coming in with the favorite here. They're 4.5-point favorites, over under 38.5, and those odds provided by Fox Bet this afternoon. Just a perfect afternoon. Home team gets to decide whether to receive or kick. They receive, and here we go from DC. Holloman on the return. And up to the 30. And that's where we will see Cardale Jones take the field and just try to get right, Greg. And it's just like the team. First 2 weeks, he was excellent. And, you know, last 2 weeks, he has really struggled to find any kind of rhythm. And it's not just him, the whole offense. And here's the proof, right? I mean, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception first 2 weeks, only 46%. No touchdowns, 5 picks the last 2 weeks. That's just not going to work. And so see if they could turn around that narrative here today. Start with Donnell Pumphrey, who will get the call. And running to the left side. He's got a gain of 4 on first down. We'll see Pumphrey quite a bit. And we're also expecting to see some more Nick Brissett in the backfield today behind that offensive line. They've got some good wide receivers on this team. Eli Rogers, maybe the most trusted. Former Redskin Rashad Ross is the deep threat. And Jones going to hand off and run it again. And that should be good enough for a first down as Pumphrey works his way maybe just shy of the 40, and they'll call it a 3rd down and 1 for the St. Louis defense, Greg, that is #1 in the XFL.
They got some real guys on this defensive side of the ball. Dexter McCoyle had him highlighted there. He's a guy to keep an eye on, number 26. I like the tempo here out of the gate for DC. Something Pep Hamilton talked about. You know, he just felt the last couple weeks they've been a little sluggish. You see right off the bat, their tempo, their time between plays has really picked up. I like trying to get Cardale settled down early, establish the run, and then their play action builds on top.
Although they run it 3 straight times to start. Here's Jones to pass. Flag flies, gets it out to Pumphrey in the flat, turns on speed, and out across the 45 all the way up to about the 49-yard line. So a nice play. We'll see what the penalty flag is.
Illegal formation. Offense. The tight end with a legal number was covered up. 5-yard penalty. 3 feet first down.
Here we go, boys. Let's go. Triple right, same odd paint, twitch, X Thunder. Triple right, same odd paint, twitch, X Thunder.
So the penalty erases a nice play as you hear Pep Hamilton
5-7
calling in the play.
5-7.
4 wide receivers. Jones, quarterback run, and that's going to go nowhere. Was that a design play?
No, that wasn't. Odd paint is a very common term used by most teams to simulate some sort of odd being to the left. Paint is kind of in the draw family. You know, it's kind of just a play on the words. I think Cardale tried to maybe throw an alert. Got kind of caught up. The timing with him in the back was thrown off, and he ended up just following the back through the hole. That was a design running back handoff.
Here is the running back. Terrell Presley gets his first carry of the day, and he's got 4 yards out to the 40. Let's listen in on 3rd down what the call is.
Here we go. We got. Here we go. Let's go. Scrappy left. 9th X Kitty. Sunday. Scrappy left. 9th X Kitty.
So X-Kitty looking on the down here. This could convert to a fade on the bottom of the screen. But if he gets off coverage, he's running a comeback. This is going to convert to a fade. He's going to work the top.
Tried to go there, didn't work. He was intended for DeAndre Tompkins, and the first pass goes incomplete.
Yeah, and that's what Pep talked about. Pep Hamilton, the head coach here, just said about finding our rhythm early. You know, you come out, you establish the run, you get 3 good runs for a first down. Then on the start the next set of plays, you throw a great swing pass, pick up another first down, but you line up illegal, you cover up an eligible player. Next thing you know, it's 1st and 15, and you know, right now offensively they're not good enough to overcome that consistently. Those are the mistakes, those are the struggles this offense has had these past 2 weeks.
Nice wander to punt it away. Close to getting partially blocked. Pearson L, dangerous, back on the receiving end with space out across the 30. And he's hit out of bounds at about the 32. And that's where we will see St. Louis on offense for the first time behind their dynamic quarterback, Jordan Ta'amu, only 22 years old. And boy, you feel like there's a lot more to come for him. Just scratching the surface. Started out at New Mexico Military, went to Ole Miss, and started a full season his senior year. Put up good numbers. Speaking of good numbers, that's what he's putting up here in this league. 75% completion rate. That is #1 in the XFL. This is a running team. Make no mistake about it. And he leads the way. And Matt Jones starts the game at tailback.
180.
On the fake. Ta'amu looking to throw, looking to go deep, going deep he will, looking for Washington, and he overthrew him. LaDamian Washington had a step, and he could not connect.
I like that start, though, right? All week, Chuck Long, he's telling everybody, Jordan Ta'amu, he's running the ball. Last week was a run fest with their big win over Seattle. First play, what do? They go play action. They try to take a shot deep. Back these defenders off the ball. I just love that start, that aggressive play here. First play of the game from the BattleHawks offense.
Fake to Jones. Ta'amu in some trouble, being pressured now. And Ta'amu dragged down up at the 35-yard line. Pretty good pursuit that time from Raheem Moore out of the free safety spot to prevent a big gain. Look at this DC defense. They come in 4th overall yardage, 5th in scoring. They rotate a lot of guys, especially at the linebacker position. Moore is really the veteran, number 45, former NFL player with the Broncos. He's kind of the leader of that defense out there.
Hey, Alpha! Let it go!
Pressure. Ta'amu goes down. The defenders have their first sack in 3 weeks. Tavares Barnes gets home.
As you said, KB, these are the plays here. You see coming off the side here, just overload pressure. The right side of the offensive line just really outmatched, and look what happens. They turn into that overload pressure, and Barnes comes unblocked off the left side. Great scheme early from defensive coordinator Chofi, and what a great start here for that defender's defense. As you said, they hadn't had a sack in 3 weeks. Came up one big here in the first drive.
Short, wobbly kick, and DC is going to let it bounce, and it does take a St. Louis bounce inside the 30. So, East defense does their job. Cardale Jones trying to get this defender offense on track. Scoreless early.
He played with a heavy heart, and I am very proud of his all the way. And I love you. My Gator brother, what's up?
No, that was last week in a BattleHawks win. It was special for Will Hill, the former NFL veteran whose father had an aneurysm the day before the game, had to have emergency surgery. Played with that on his mind, had a game-sealing interception, and that was the game ball delivered by his head coach, Jonathan Hayes. So a really cool moment. As they go on a little jet sweep action, they're going to get it to Rodgers. And a little razzle-dazzle from the defenders picks up a first down.
Again, last week we saw so much of their run game was so basic. You're going to see Rodgers. He's off the side here of the screen. They're just going to do a nice job tying up. They're going to leave the end unblocked. Both tight ends are going to arc release and block at the second level. Again, spread these guys out. Something Pep Hamilton acknowledged. Just last week they were so conservative, kind of played in a box. Much better start with the run game.
Tompkins comes in motion. It's Pumphrey up the middle, and he's got a short gain. Casey Sales was in on the tackle.
Yeah, that's a good example of what they really haven't had a ton of success with, just traditional under center, kind of basic run game. They're much better in the gun. They're much better getting the receivers involved with the fly motions. We'll keep an eye and see if they build on that going forward.
Second down, it's Pumphrey. And back to the line of scrimmage. Well, on that, they don't have a big bruising back, really. Pumphrey is more of a, kind of a Darren Sproles type, if you will. And that's why we kind of thought maybe, and we might, Nick Brissett, kind of a little bit bigger back. Maybe he gets a little bit more of a role. You see Presley coming in right now. And they put Presley in the slot on a 3rd down and 8. 8 runs and only 1 pass so far for the defenders. Blitz coming. Jones in trouble. Stays alive. Points deep. Releasing deep. And it's underthrown and intercepted. It's picked off by Kenny Robinson. The 7th interception of the year for Cardale Jones.
Rolling on the field was an interception. First down, St. Louis.
Look at, I think he gets his hands under that, KB. That's an unbelievable play by Kenny Robinson. an ill-advised pass. He's forcing the ball, scrambling it. Just Cardell, he's made so many of those poor plays over the last couple weeks.
That ruling is under further review.
They're going to take a look at this in replay. Terry Valenti, let's listen in to our replay
the nose
official.
of the ball hitting in between his fingers, and he's bouncing it up into his hands. We got an incomplete.
Okay, so Terry, after further review, the ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. It'll be second down.
Okay, great. However, not enough to change. We were looking at whether the ball hit the ground inside of his hands, and using an end zone shot, we've got not enough to show whether it did or didn't. Got his hands on it pretty quickly. We're going to let this one stand. The turnover will stand.
So after further review, the ruling on the field of interception stands.
Correct. That will be great.
After further review, the ruling on the field of interception stands. First down, St. Louis.
So there you go, the second interception of the year for Kenny Robinson. And meanwhile, Cardell Jones's troubles continue as Tyree Jackson has started to warm up, the backup quarterback for DC. Don't know if that's just getting loose or if there's something to that.
That's something to keep an eye on. You just poor decisions just lead to your play caller losing faith in you. You can tell they've gotten off to a really conservative start. As you said, 8 of the first 9 plays were run plays. Cardell's got to throw that ball out of bounds, live to play another snap.
On first down, Matt Jones, second leading rusher in the XFL with a big hole out across midfield into defenders' territory. 21 yards from Matt Jones.
In the open, we talked about they are not shy. They are a run-first team. You see him cause a little misdirection here with the zip motion. It's just a single back. They pull the backside guard, and he just hits that downhill and fast. And Matt Jones, when he can get his shoulder square and hit the ground, hit the hole flat, he is super electric with the ball.
Here's Keith Ford. They've got 3 backs who they really trust. Ford had a touchdown last week, and they kind of have plays for each of them.
Something interesting listening to Coach Chuck Long yesterday. He said he learned this from Barry Sanders. He said, I'm going to get my best player in for their best play. And I just think that describes this BattleHawks team so well. 3 great running backs, and obviously Jordan Ta'amu, what he's able to do, both run and pass.
Got an injured player for DC. It might be Elijah Campbell, the cornerback. I think that's who it is. He's a starting quarterback for this DC team, and they tend to him. And it's interesting because DC already different in the secondary this week. Matt Elam was let go this week. Former NFL player, led the team in tackles last week. So there's already a change in that secondary. So now with an injury, it becomes even more dicey. Well, we have this time, and while they tend to Campbell, hopefully he's okay. We just saw Kenny Robinson with a big play the other way. Jenny Taft has him.
All right, Kevin, thanks, Kenny. Now, here's the thing. You make a big play, second interception of the season, but you get on the phone immediately with your coaches. So I got to say, I hope they're congratulating you, but what was the message?
His message was, congratulations, but we got a long game. It's only the first quarter, and we got to finish out.
Anything feel better than that play, making that move, and celebrating with your guys who are giving you a hard time behind us for this interview?
Yeah, it felt wonderful, especially with my family being there. I gave a game ball to my father and my sister, so it definitely felt good.
Some proud family in the stands. Go keep it up.
Thank you.
Oh, how great is that? So gets to go over and share the game ball with his family. As we'll check in on Campbell. Duran Grant has replaced him, number 21 at cornerback, as Campbell has walked off the field. Meanwhile, St. Louis, a couple big plays on this drive. Second down and 4.
Monday, 180, what's up?
Jones, good cut. Matt Jones running well in the early going, and that's one thing they couldn't do last week, run up the middle.
Their traditional run game last week was a real struggle. It really took Ta'amu being able to get involved with the run, play action stuff, the read, the zone stuff. This week they've been a little bit more consistent, at least here early, in just traditional, pure handoff. We haven't seen a lot of Ta'amu having any reads. As this series goes on, we'll see if they start layering that in.
Well, Matt Jones off to a well to start here. Down to the 32. Considering last week he had 15 carries for 20 yards, he's going to be over 30 yards with that carry already in the first quarter.
Yeah, and if you're Chuck Long and you're, calling these plays early, trying to get a feel for what this game's going to be, that's got to make you feel good. Your best player hasn't even really had to do anything yet, and your run game, which you pride yourself on, has gotten off to a great start.
Pearson L in motion. They give it to Jones again. As talking about Chuck Long, the offensive coordinator. And be a third down, and we'll call it 2. To get an injured player. That's the center, Brian Folkerts. Jordan Ta'amu was just raving about him the other day, about what a great player he's been for them.
Yeah, I played with Brian for a few years in Carolina. Great kid, local St. Louis kid. I think he got rolled up on. I kind of caught it late. I think he was engaged. You see him here, 67. He's the center. They just go zone to the left. And watch here at the end. The pile, and he gets bent back by the defender he was blocking. You just got to hope he was able to get his leg out of there. Yeah, I'm not sure. He's a tough kid. Just got to hope that he's all right. Looks like they're looking at his ankle.
That's Michael Miller, who's the backup center, starting to get some reps right now.
The previous 2 plays, Michael Miller, who you just referenced, their backup center, he came in, first down, he was the tight end in a wing formation. The next play, they actually brought him into the backfield in like an orbit motion, and he settled right off of Ta'amu's hip as kind of an offset back, and
hey, it's Miller time,
led the back. He's pretty athletic. They feel good about him, but Folkerts is the leader of that group up front. He sets the tone. He calls the plays. They got to hope he's okay.
They continue to work on Brian Folkerts. Injury timeout from D.C. Scoreless game. Well, there is the new center, Michael Miller, with Brian Folkerts going out with an injury. As Jenny Taft reminded us during the break, how wild is it that Folkerts actually coached Miller? They both are Washburn graduates. So his replacement was coached. It's a protege. So Miller in there now. Kristen Michael in the game at tailback for the first time, and he gets it. And Michael's got himself a first down. And Greg, it's a little different today. We talked coming on about the RPOs. Right now, they're just going from full steam ahead and getting big yards.
Yeah, they're just challenging D.C. right now. They're saying, we're going to run right at you. Can you stop us? And right now, the St. Louis offensive line is doing a great job controlling the front of D.C. And there's no RPO. There's no zone read. Right now, it's just been downhill traditional run game.
I'll even. Alpha, let go.
1st and 10. Michael bounces outside, makes something happen. Kristen Michael inside the 15, all the way down to the 11. He's got a first down and a gain of 15.
Something Louis Chaffee, the coordinator of the defenders mentioned. We got to take away what they do best. Well, wow, look at that catch. First couple snaps of the new center there, Miller. Thankfully, his quarterback's a great athlete. But what I was saying before is the D coordinator of the defenders, Louis Chaffee, said we got to take away what they do best. This is a little concerning. You knew coming in that they were a run-first team. They've got to stiffen up here on defense.
This team, as Greg told you, they just run it, and they are not ashamed of it. 59% of their plays they run. Look at the league average. It is far and away the most in the league, and clearly they're successful at it. And especially when you think about D.C., Greg, they have gotten gashed on the ground the last 2 weeks.
Let's go.
They have, and they've changed their fronts. They've played some 4-down stuff. They've played some 3-4 type stuff. I'm not sure they're quite comfortable with what they want to be right now on defense. I think they caused somebody here to false start.
64. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That is the new center that we talked about, Michael Miller. And head coach Jonathan Hayes, long time on Marvin Lewis's staff in Cincinnati. Been a coach for a long time.
Let's go.
Played in the league as well. Tight end Chiefs. He's doing a heck of a job here with St. Louis.
Ready to go.
Second down, Ta'amu on the draw play, and that's not going to get much. Well defended that time. Elijah Qualls came in on the stop. It'll be a 3rd and long.
Yeah, Qualls, Sprinkle. They got some big interior guys on this defender's defense, but like I was saying earlier, they're kind of moving them all over. They're playing some 4-down front. You see here, they're bringing in kind of a pass rush specialist, Anthony Johnson, who they acquired earlier in the season to kind of just be a one-dimensional player right now for them. But, you know, they're not quite sure what they want this front to be. As the game goes on, hopefully they'll figure it out a little bit and try to hold up against this run-first attack.
St. Louis can get a first down at the 2. Ta'amo with heavy pressure gets it to Jones. Good tackle. Solid play. The second good one today by Raheem Moore. And looks like a field goal situation.
Raheem Moore, he's kind of the tone setter back there. We talked about letting go of their other veteran safety, Matt Elam, but Raheem Moore, when we talked to him, you could just hear his love for the game, still playing. This is no young guy now. He's 30+ years old, and he's still enjoying playing. He said it didn't matter what league, what team, he still enjoys playing this game, and he really sets the tone for this DC defense. That was a big stand.
Taylor Russolino from 35 yards out slides it through. He's now 8 for 8. The field goes on the year, and he gets St. Louis off to a good start. 35-yard field goal after a nice drive primarily on the ground. St. Louis 62 yards rushing on the day, so they're well on their way to what they normally do, and that's dominate on the ground. So one more XFL game this weekend after we're done here, 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Tampa Bay Vipers taking on the LA Wildcats. Tampa Bay maybe starting to find something here. Their ground game is starting to pick up too. They had 266 yards rushing last week, and that was against DC. The Kenny Robinson interception got that going for St. Louis. 11 plays, 53 yards, and the field goal, and so they're on the board. Who's coming in at quarterback?
I think this is going to be a very telling drive here. Not only who plays quarterback.
Oh boy.
Didn't reach the 20.
It did not, and that means on the 45 you go.
The ball bounced before the 20-yard line. By rule, the ball will be placed 15 yards from where it was originally kicked. First down.
So that's a big momentum shift, and we've got a new quarterback. Cardale Jones will take a seat, and here's Tyree Jackson, who is enormous, 6'7". He was the MAC MVP and Offensive Player of the Year playing at Buffalo in 2018. And look, you know, he got some reps at the end of last week's game. It was out of hand, and he was warming up earlier. And the way Cardale Jones has started with the interception,
hey, listen,
we'll see if this is his show the rest of the way or just a series.
This is a very interesting early move here by Pep Hamilton. His team's going to have to respond well.
Hurry,
Presley on the carry.
You know, I think, KB, I think it's going to be real telling, right? Coming out of this drive, regardless of who was going to be at quarterback, whether they stuck with Cardale or they moved to Tyree Jackson, I think the plays that he calls are going to be very telling of his confidence right now at the quarterback position, regardless of which guy. Is he going to allow the guy to come out and throw the ball and try to find a rhythm? Or they, as he started the game with Cardale, run after run after run. Play calls are very telling.
Another run here. Presley gets to the edge, has some space, has a first down.
Well, they're going to continue to establish this run. It's just an off tackle here. The strong side, the tight end is off to the right. You'll see they pull the backside guard and the front side guard. It gives him two bodies out in front. Presley's got a little more wiggle to him. He's very good in space. Getting him on the perimeter is where this DC defender's run game wants to be.
Pick up at first, give it to Presley again, and look at the big seam. Presley, room to run inside the 15 and down to the 10.
Yeah, this is the style of run game that they want to be, right? We talked last week, they kind of struggled. They didn't know inside zone, kind of hitting their heads on the wall. He's got a nice little wiggle. He's got great feel. He is a tackle box and out to the sideline type of a runner. He finds space and he hits it. He can put his foot in the ground. Two really good. Nothing better being a young quarterback coming in on your first real action, getting off to a good start with the run game.
Here he'll keep it, trying to get to the edge, and bounces inside the 10. So think about the mistakes, right? St. Louis got the interception, goes down, field goal. But then Russolino fails to get it to the 20. The defenders take over on the St. Louis 45, and now they're on the move.
Yeah, those special teams turnovers and special teams errors, they can flip a game on its head really quick, and we're seeing that unfold right in front of us here. Can Tyree Jackson, does he have enough control of this passing game to be able to punch this ball in here?
Second down, he keeps it, he throws it, and he's got a touchdown! Tyree Jackson hits Kari Lee for 6. So that worked out pretty well.
We talked about the RPO-style offense on the other side of the ball with St. Louis. Well, DC kind of took a page right out of their book. You'll see Lee here going in motion and getting set. This is a true RPO. It's an off tackle to the right. If that defender bites and pulls, he is going to pull it and throw it to his big body tight end right where that defender vacates for an easy touchdown. Kind of took a page right out of Chuck Long's book. I think the crowd's booing because they're going for 1. Is that why they're booing?
Maybe. They've gone for 1 a lot. They're only 1 for 8 on conversions after a score this year. It's worse in the league. Jackson here, looking to throw, pressured, and it's incomplete. Had to get rid of it. Pressure coming from Will Hill.
They haven't figured out their point after attempts this year, as you said. They've only completed 1 now through 4 games and change. Look at Cardell. Cardell Jones just met Tyree Jackson out, passed the numbers, jumped, hip bumped him, cheering for him. I think that says a lot about a guy. He just got benched. What a cool moment there. I think that speaks volumes to Cardell. Look at, he's smiling. He's happy for his guy. That's good leadership.
That's pretty great.
That's really good leadership.
You know, tough moment. Jones seemingly gets benched. And look at Jenny. She's so quick. Already has grabbed Tyree. Jenny.
Kevin, I'm not even letting him catch his breath because we got to get your immediate reaction, Tyree. You go in first series of the day. You get the touchdown. I know you're breathing hard, but take me through it.
Offensive line played great that drive. Moving guys. That was a great catch by Kari. Great play. We practiced all week. Got to keep it going, though. It's a long game.
Okay, look forward to it. Well done.
That was impressive just to be able to take a deep breath and answer Jenny's question. I mean, that takes a skill in itself.
Jenny really put him on the spot there, but I think that was probably an interview he was very willing.
Oh, he was excited. I mean, that was, now look, you got help with the kickoff not reaching the 20, so you start at the 45 going in, but a couple big runs by Presley. Jackson throws his first touchdown of the year.
You don't ever apologize in this league for having success. You know, listen, he played the last 2 weeks, talking about Jackson, he played the last 2 weeks kind of in mop-up time.
Yeah.
This was his first real action when the game, you know, was still being decided. So for him to have that success, throw a touchdown pass, that's got to do wonders for his confidence now moving
During the
forward.
return, holding, 37 return team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
So St. Louis will back on up. I want to remind you before next weekend's XFL action kicks off, download the Fox Sports Super 6 app. Play the XFL game for free. Chance to win up to $10,000. So in this game, there have been 28 plays. 22 of them have been runs, Greg.
If you're a fan of passing games and air raid and run and shoot like we've seen around this league, this is not the game for you.
This is Russell who makes a catch for a short game. Throws it into Chuck Long, the offensive coordinator.
Double right, 601, jet hitch. Double right, 601, jet hitch.
601.
11.
Get set. Monday. 180. Set.
Four-man rush. Ta'amu float to him. Washington's wide open and tackled immediately, but not before a first down as Washington gets out to the 34 and a 16-yard gain.
This is a great two-man concept here. You're going to see the slot receiver run an out route. Brandon Riley's going to run an out. And the outside receiver, Washington, we lost our replay, but they threw a hole shot there. where the corner squats on the out route, and he just replaces it right over his head, kind of in a dead spot there in cover 2.
And then quickly like that, they get another play. They go to Riley for another first down, and that'll end quarter number 1 here from Washington. So how about that? Boom, boom, boom. St. Louis on the move just like that, but a good first quarter. DC's offense got going a little bit, and they've got the lead after 1. Great look at the monuments here in Washington, D.C. after 1 quarter. Stats brought to you by Fox Bet, and D.C. needed a touchdown. They finally got one. The offense has been quiet. They made a quarterback switch. This game has been all about running the football for both sides, really. That's been the story, although Tyree Jackson came in and had a touchdown pass to Corey Lee. As Cardell Jones was put on the bench, and we'll see if this is the rest of the game, but the way it started, you would... Right now, it certainly looks that way. So we start quarter number 2. St. Louis on the move here on a good-looking drive. Already picked up 35 yards. Tamu got the ball stuck on his hip a little bit. Now in trouble. Gets it to the tight end, Lucas, who's hit immediately for no gain. Let's get an injury update with Jenny.
Well, unfortunately, guys, I'm just hearing about a couple injuries, both centers right now for D.C. John Toth will not return. He's dealing with a lower body injury. Brian Folkerts is questionable with an ankle injury on St. Louis's side. And then also for D.C. and their defense, they're shorthanded because Scooby Wright, linebacker, will not return, as well as Elijah Campbell, the cornerback. So right now, we don't want to lose any more guys in this one.
Oh, my goodness, what a start. Jenny, thanks. And yeah, and St. Louis on top of that has changed on the line. We'll tell you after this. As a nice run by Michael is going to have himself 8. So they move Bruno Reagan from left guard to center now. They bring on Dejon Allen, number 66. So on top of all that, seems like they made another switch because Mike Miller had a little bit of a rocky start.
Yeah, they've gotten off to a tough start up here up front. You see Miller now coming back in, reporting
64
eligible.
is eligible. 64 is eligible.
So he's going to line up at the left, wing tight end. Looks like they're going to maybe bring him in motion. No, yeah, they're going to bring him back in motion again.
Kind of like a fullback in a way. On 3rd down, and it's a gaping hole for Michael. Has got a first down, and it worked. Is that a new look for them? I don't recall seeing that too much.
No, that's a new little wrinkle. They've used Miller now. You see him coming back off the field. They've used Miller. They don't have a true traditional blocking tight end. Marcus Lucas and Wex Saxton are both kind of pass-catching type players, but Miller brings them an athletic, big body. Saw him go in, have some struggles at center, but I'm sure most of his weeks of practice are in this kind of reserve tight end role that we just saw him do there.
And this play is dead. St. Louis has moved early.
Full start. Offense number 66. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Gives us a chance to listen to Chuck Long.
11:36. Trey left. Lobster odd, general VIP. Trey left, lobster odd, general VIP.
Ready. Ready, go.
Give to Ford, running left and not much there. So it's interesting talking to Chuck Long. There's a pressure to get the play in with a 20-second play clock. And watch his hands. Explain after the call.
All right, let's go. Double left, 702 X dig. Double left, 702 X dig.
So Greg, he told us that there's 2 buttons in his hand. See the red button?
See, it's right there.
Ready.
He said one button goes to the players, the other to the coaches. And he said, I press the wrong button sometimes.
He said sometimes he's thinking to the coaches and he hits the wrong button, and he's telling the coaches what he wants to tell Jordan, and Jordan's saying, hey, coach, you're talking to me. I got you.
Here's Michael, makes a good move, and is going to be about a yard short of a first down. So Chuck Long, is he pressing the right button? Certainly, so far it seems so.
We likened it to saying, you get an email from a group of people and you kind of reply all by mistake, and too many people hear what you have to say. He said it happens to him a lot. He doesn't intend always for Jordan to hear what he says.
Eligible. 64 is eligible.
But he said Jordan's a pro and he understands. He's just coaching him hard. But we got a good chuckle out of that.
Ready, go.
3rd down and 1. Straight give Matt Jones, first down and then some. Too easy for Matt Jones, who's inside the 20.
Yeah, they bring in Michael Miller again. He reports eligible. He plays at tight end. That time they do line up 85 Marcus Lucas on his hip. Watch them just cave this side down. And now you're one-on-one with a corner. Durant Grant has no chance of tackling a back like Matt Jones in space. It's how the play is designed. Make the tackle, be the run support, and let's block the box. Great job there by both Marcus Lucas and backup center slash tight end Michael Miller.
He stays in the game, and Jones gets the carry again for a short game.
Something we asked Chuck Long, we said, how tempting is it for you to continue to expand this package? You know, you have so many different looks. We touched on in the open.
601, Jet 8, Y Poco.
Hear the play call there.
601, Jet 8, Y Poco.
And we challenged him. We said, you know, how hard is it to not just continue to grow that package? He said, it's really hard. He goes, what we try to do is we try to just do what we do well, and each week have a new wrinkle, a new look, but don't change too much for the players.
Tamu going for the end zone, and it was intended for Lucas, but knocked away again. It was Raheem Moore, who's had a heck of a start for DC.
Oh, Marcus, that's my guy. He had a shot. I told him yesterday, I said, man, make a play. You'll see him here. He's playing more of a slot than he is a tight end. He tries to cross face of the safety, Raheem Moore. Just flatten him out. Good play by Moore. I don't know how much more Marcus could have done there. It was a really good ball. I told Marcus, I said, make a play, bud. I want to talk about you. I want to hype you up. He was a teammate of mine in Carolina for a few years. Just got to be flatter, maybe the ball out in front, but give credit to the safety. Moore there is a nice play.
All kinds of movement on a 3rd and 8, and it looks like it's going to be a 3rd and longer.
I'll start. Offense number 66. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
I got to tell you, this is a terrific atmosphere here today. I'd never been here, Greg, to this stadium, and it is awesome. The fans in that end zone, it's all standing room, so they come in to buy those tickets, and they've just been making all kinds of noise. They're into it here in D.C.
We've been around this league now for 5 weeks, and this is as good an atmosphere, as you said, this is as good an atmosphere as we've seen in all of our travels so far.
Blitz coming, 3rd and long to Amu, incomplete. Tried to get it to Washington. And on 4th and long, here comes a field goal try.
Great job there by Desmond Lawrence. They brought an all-out blitz there. Lawrence is there on an island, and he does a great job. You see him at the top of the screen. He's inside leverage. You know, as a defender, especially at corner, if we're bringing pressure inside, the quickest throw is an inside play. So I got to move inside the receiver. I cannot let him cross inside my face. Desmond Lawrence does a nice job there getting off the field.
Russolino continues his outstanding season, now 9 for 9. He's good from 40. It ties this game up. 9:49 to go in the first half from our nation's capital. 6-6 Defenders, BattleHawks. Yeah, it's been a good atmosphere here this afternoon in D.C. and a fun start. Oh, the beer snake is building. That's what happens here. That's what happened. It's kind of a new tradition, so it's got a way to go. That was from a couple weeks ago. It's in the early infant stages. It's only the 2nd quarter, and it's a 6-6 game. And there's been all kinds of intrigue and injuries early on in this game.
This has been awesome. I mean, what a great environment, great day. I know we're enjoying it. The fans are enjoying it. It's been great.
Great shot. Look at Duff getting down there working on camera. Love it. Ball bounces at around the 10. Holloman's going to pick it up. And good return out near the 35-yard line from Dion Holloman. So we got a new quarterback. We said that last time. And a new center, John Toth. Jenny told us is hurt. Listen to a conversation with Tyree Jackson.
I said stay in the gun if you're in. No under center. Why? This gun's easy money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to worry about this right here.
Yeah, gun's easier for me.
Yeah, same here. No one likes under center. Let's get some.
It's an executive decision. That's the bottom line. They're going to go in the gun, and why not? So Chris Brown moves from left guard to center. Teron Prescott comes into the game at left guard, and they will just run it to Pumphrey. So both teams without their starting center now, and obviously it's a total battery change for DC. New center and quarterback last time.
Yeah, who knows the last time these two guys even took an under center snap. So I think it's good. I think it's a good decision. Whether Pep made it or they just told Pep we don't feel comfortable, we'll never know. But I think it's the right move.
Hurry, second out.
Humphrey tries to get to the edge, not much there. I mean, you wonder if they've taken any together, right? You never know.
I mean, he's their starting left guard, so you can't imagine maybe a couple practices, maybe pre-practice individual periods, but you would imagine he'd be doing that with Cardale. We'll never know how much work during the week Jackson's gotten, maybe since the struggles of Cardale. Maybe Pep Hamilton has given him some extra reps, so he's a little more comfortable than a traditional backup quarterback. We'll never really know, but a lot of that be determined by what plays Pep feels he can call.
Third down, blitz coming. Brissett picks it up. Jackson rolls out that way. Cruz is on the run, incomplete. Didn't look like he had to roll that way because the blitz was picked up, but now it's a punting situation.
Yeah, that just comes with reps. All of his receivers were to the left side of the field. His receiver to the right ran an in-breaking route. So if you're going to break contain with pressure up the middle, break to the side of where your receivers are and allow guys to work for you. He kind of rolled out and scrambled into the boundary, and he had nobody on his team to that side of the field, but threw the ball out of bounds, punt and regroup on the sideline.
Jackson had a touchdown his first series, a 3-and-out on the next. Penalty flag fly. Ball is blocked by St. Louis, and it's bouncing out of bounds at the 43, but there are penalties too. I think it was blocked by Agadosi, the wide receiver, but now let's see if it's going to stick.
Taking out of that.
John O'Neill, our referee.
Wait, offense. We're not offense. What number? Elite formation. Kicking team number 52. That penalty will be added on to the end of the kick. First down, St. Louis.
So Carlton Agadosi gets in and delivers with a punt block and then a penalty to boot.
They called the penalty here on 52. You see him at left tackle, Jonathan Celestin. He's actually who got run over. Watch him. He's set, and he just long arms him. He almost looks like a defensive lineman rushing the passer. That was really impressive for a wideout. He just ran him over.
26.
Celestin didn't have a chance there. Had a penalty and had a tough blocking assignment there.
Now the BattleHawks in business, and hang on one more second.
Offense number 66. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
I'll tell you one thing, Michael Miller's going to get his cardio in today. Number 64 just checked in again. He has probably run more times back and forth from the sideline than ever before.
This is the fourth position he's played today. He's now in at left guard.
So Dejon Allen just came out. Let's go down to Jenny Taft.
Don't worry, Kevin. All of Carlton's teammates just came over to make sure he was looking good for this interview. So he's going to do it. Carlton, you set your team up for great field position. Coach Hayes just had some words with you. What did he share?
He just told me good job and keep it going. I'm not even going to lie. I knew I was going to block the punt earlier this week watching them on film, and I just executed.
How do you continue to build on this momentum, this group?
You just keep it going, keep the energy up. When you work for something, you can relax because you already know you're prepared for it. So I might just go out there and keep balling.
All right, thank you.
Lawrence. How about that, Greg? How about the fact, I saw it on film. I knew I was going to block the punt.
But anytime a special teams, you ask a special teams player or a special teams coach if they have a return or a block or anything, they always knew all week. That's kind of the running line. But I'll tell you what, that was an impressive pass rush by him. You saw him 6'6", 220, wide receiver out of Rutgers. He almost looks like he played D-end in college. He's a big, strong guy, and Celestin had his hands full.
Third and long, blitz coming. Tamu feels the pressure. Flag flies, incomplete. Try to get it to Pearson L. That might be a hole too, and it is.
Holding. Offense number 69. That penalty is declined. Brings up fourth down.
And so after the block punt, give credit to DC. They hold their own.
Yeah, Louis Trophy, this D corner, he told us he was disappointed in himself. He felt the last couple weeks he kind of got away from his bread and butter. He wants to be an attacking, blitzing, physical style defense, show a lot of different looks and get after the quarterback. He felt the last couple weeks, for whatever reason, he got a little conservative with his calls and his looks. He said, I'm not doing that again this week. This kid, Tamu's too good. And we've seen that here early in the game, bringing pressure, getting on Tamu. Tamu's had a little bit of struggles here in the passing game to start out, and I think a lot of that is credit to this defender's defense.
Well, it's a terrible punt by Marquette King because it goes in the end zone in this league. Essentially, that equates to a 4-yard punt. Yikes. Good game in D.C. We're tied at 6. D.C. with a touchdown and the missed conversion. Couple field goals for St. Louis. That's where we stand. 6-6 game. Here in the second quarter.
Hey, y'all done. Hey, RPO. Hey, RPO. Hey, yo. Hey, I see y'all, D-line. I see y'all. Get up, T. Hey, 74. I like that. It's good.
Little all access with Dexter McCoyle, the linebacker. There he is, number 26 for the BattleHawks. Had a fine year.
Hey, come this way.
Comes in with 30 tackles. Tied for essentially third in the league. Jackson on the keep. Dances around and gets something out of nothing there. He's going to pick up 4 yards.
When you put on the defense, when you put on the film of this St. Louis defense,
Monday.
Dexter McCoyle, he just jumps out at you. He's a guy. Jay Hayes talked about defensive coordinator of the BattleHawks. He said,
ready?
we signed him. We thought he was a safety. He told us, no, coach, I played linebacker in the CFL. I think that's my position. They were worried about how big he was, but you can make an argument he's one of the top 3 defensive players in this entire league.
No doubt. Jackson with some time now running for his life. And again, he looked like there was nothing there, but he puts his shoulders down, and I think he's got the first down. He does.
Hey, muddle.
He's just big enough and just athletic enough that they're having a hard time tackling him in space. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to mistake him for Lamar Jackson, but I'll tell you what, he's effective. This is something this St. Louis team last week against Seattle, they were stuffing them. This defense was controlling the game. Seattle made a quarterback change, and they brought in a quarterback, McDaniels, who really ran and changed the tempo of the game, and it was something they struggled with. I'm not sure Jackson is that sort of player, but even plays like that, getting big first downs, really changed the look of this defender's offense.
Oh, little flea flicker. Jackson going to get it over in the flat to Lee, the tight end, and well, it looked like a lot, but it really was a little. Let's listen to Pep Hamilton.
Tiger.
Hey.
Under firm left Z flow, even with both arc. Under firm left Z flow, even with both arc. Tiger.
Hey. Z flow, both arc, even whiz. On Sunday.
Hey, white left.
Sunday. Hurry.
Give Rodgers, gets a block, and then the speed. Eli Rodgers has a first down.
It's the second time they've run this play. They put both tight ends here to the left. They arc. They say, we're not going to block the defensive end. Rodgers is fast enough to hit that on the stride, get 2 big bodies out in front to block second level. Great job there by Hayward and Lee, the 2 tight ends. Saw Lee catch the earlier touchdown pass. Now he's doing it on the run game. That's been a successful play for them. They've run it now twice. Expect to see more of that as the game unfolds.
Presley. Nope, it's going to be kept by Jackson. Nice fake. Fake me out too, and another positive game. So you talk about his size. He's not like a prototypical runner, but he's really getting chunks right now. He's got 8 more there.
He is, and he's deceptively fast. We just talked about it a minute ago. I think the tight end might want to have this one back. Garvin is his guy. I don't know why he ran right by him. But Jackson, again, he's a long leg, big body, but he's a smooth runner. Garvin has him in the hole. He's unblocked, but he does a great job making a miss. It's an element of this offense that Cardale Jones does not bring to them. And you can understand why Pep Hamilton felt they needed to make a change at the quarterback position.
Got 4 carries for 20 yards so far. He'll hand it off. Presley will do the work, dancing forward. And I don't think he got the first down, so it'll be a 3rd down and less than a yard.
Let's go. Zebra, zebra, zebra. Zebra, zebra. Here we go. I got double right hop. Odd whiz book, Y arc, X smoke. Double right hop. Odd whiz book, Y arc, X smoke. Here we go. Double right hop.
Don't be surprised if we see another jet sweep here.
Hey, short, short.
See Rodgers down here in the slot.
Hurry, hurry.
3rd and less than 1. They're just going to hand to Presley, and he's got it.
They make you defend now, and they can spread you out and make you defend the entire field. We got jet motions. Now we have the zone read element to the offense. This is a much different style looking offense than we've seen the last couple weeks where they've really struggled.
They've run it 20 of the 25 plays so far here this afternoon. Jackson looks to throw it here, though. Rodgers makes a nice adjustment and a catch for a short gain for Trevon Reed, brought him down. And DC not in a rush. That'll take us down to the 2-minute warning. So we got a 6-6 game. We got DC on the move. And their backup quarterback, Tyree Jackson, playing well, getting a shot. Coming up Wednesday, the Big East Tournament at MSG. The biggest stars in the conference. How about a 3-way tie? Creighton, Seton Hall, and Villanova all tied for the regular season title. It'll be on Fox FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Look forward to it. Should be a fun Big East Tournament this week. Good game here from DC, 6-6 score. The defenders on the move.
Yeah, it is.
Something we're seeing for the first time. You see they got both their running backs, Donnell Pumphrey and Jarrell Presley, in the game at the same time.
Get it to Pumphrey. He's looking to pass, doesn't see it, takes off and run. You can pass it twice if it's behind the line of scrimmage the first time, and it looked like he was trying it.
He was trying to throw a double pass there to the top of the screen to DeAndre Tompkins, number 1. But give credit to Marquez White, number 27, the corner of St. Louis. His eyes were on his receiver. He did not look in the backfield at the initial pass. I like Pep kind of changing it up a little bit there. Gave a new wrinkle with the 2 running back look. Tried to hit him on the trick play with the double pass, but St. Louis is a very disciplined, sound defense.
Play clock expiring. They get it off. They do a draw on 3rd and long to Presley. And have to think you're going to go for it with that play call. No?
I think so, but I think he's going to kick it. It's an interesting play call. 3rd and 6. They just ran a draw. Kind of, I don't know. You know, the psychological aspect of being up maybe at halftime. If you make this 9-6, maybe he feels that's the way he wants to carry the momentum into halftime. But you got 2 downs there, in essence, to try to pick that up.
And it's a tie around. No. Faded it to the right. It's no good, and we will remain tied at 6.
Yeah, that was God almighty, such a buzzkill. Hey, Ty!
Well,
Pep just took the words right out of my mouth.
No need to comment. That's what it is. They had a promising drive, and Rouse's 40-yard field goal.
Yeah, I mean, Pep summed it up. It starts on track. He just pushed it right. Again, though, you're a team that's struggling. You've lost 2 games. You're back at home in front of your crowd. You got a great crowd, great environment here. You got 2 downs to get 6 yards. I think if I'm Pep, I'm a little more aggressive in that situation if it comes up again.
So here's St. Louis and Tom, who pressure coming, delivers a strike to Alonzo Russell, who's up to the 47-yard line. This is the comeback period in the XFL. So in synopsis, here's what it means. The clock stops after every single play, and it won't start again until the play clock gets to 20. So you've got plenty of time. That's the bottom line. And a drop by Marcus Lukes. So each team with both of their timeouts remaining, but there's so much time with the play clock stopping after each and every play.
we've seen so many times throughout this, not only at the end of the half, but at the end of the game. There's a minute, minute or two left in the game, and each team gets another possession. In some cases, one of the teams gets 2 possessions. It just really changes the game management with these new clock rules.
Blitz coming on to Amu. Shamarko Thomas coming fast from the backside and forced Amu to get rid of it. Let's listen to Chuck Long on a 3rd and long.
Here we go. Okay, we're 7:01 here. Receivers, run your routes. Run your routes, okay? All right, let's go. Trey Wright, 7:01, H. Coco. No hot. We're 7:01, H. Coco.
Ready, ready. Alpha. Ready, go.
3rd and 10. DC was offsides, I do believe. Tomo goes down, but Anthony Johnson looked like he jumped very early. He's got the sack there, but I don't think it counts anymore.
Defense, number 97. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Anthony Johnson's a guy they brought in, and that's what they had in mind when they traded for him from LA a few weeks back. But you see him over here. The tight end tries to chip him in the right tackle, but he's just, the right tackle saying, I got no shot there. The referee's got to help me not embarrass myself and blow that play dead. Anthony Johnson, he jumped, but he got the full sack celebration. Did the Ray Lewis stomp. He did it all. He made it worth it.
30-second charge, timeout, DC.
And DC calls a timeout. They're going to try and save time with it being a 3rd and 5 and give themselves as much as a chance.
Now we got timeout. AJ, you ready? Timeout. Let's go.
Hey, who's he?
Well, Saturday on FS1, one of boxing's hardest hitters, James Kirkland, battling Madman Marcus Hernandez. It's a middleweight showdown. Coverage begins at 6:30 Eastern on FS1 and on the Fox Sports app. Look forward to that.
Hey, so you lock or fullback? You lock. Let's go, D!
So this unique audio situation where we really have great insight into these huddles during timeouts or during breaks. You heard Pep Hamilton say, hey, we used the timeout. We got to get Anthony Johnson back on the field. We talked about after his sack, he was dancing and celebrating and hitting his helmet. I think he wore himself out and tried to come out for a play. And Pep said, hey, bud, we got a minute to go. You got 30 seconds to catch your breath. And you look, he's back out there now lined up on the other side on the left tackle. And he has one job. He is going to rush the passer. That is what they brought him here for. You see him right here at the top of the screen.
Alpha. Ready, go.
3rd and 5. Pressure coming. Amo gets buried. And what did you say? There he is, Greg Olson.
Well, Pep Hamilton's a smart guy. He said, hey, we can't have 55 seconds to go in a passing situation and not have the guy we brought here to rush the passer. I think this is a little bit of a mix-up here. The left tackle should take the big pass rusher and leave the secondary blitzer for the back. The left tackle ends up fanning out on the secondary blitzer. The back has no chance against a pass rusher like Anthony Johnson. He makes up for his offsides on the previous play, and he gets to celebrate twice in a row. This time it counts.
Got some pressure on Ta'amu this afternoon. It's a big reason why this game is where it is right now. Here's the punt. Penalty flag as well. Holloman's got it. Makes a move. And it gets stacked up at the 25-yard line. So we'll see what the penalty's all about with 20 seconds to go and one timeout for the defenders.
Right? So we're going to add it on to the end of the kick. What number? Holding. Kicking team number 48. That 10-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. First down.
So remember, you got one timeout. The clock stops after every single play here. Realistically, I mean, they're at the 25. They're going to move it up to the 35. You're going to need at least 25 yards to have a shot at a field goal here.
Yeah, but again, as you mentioned, these timing rules, this by no means is a take a knee and go into the locker room tied up 6-6. I think if you're Pep Hamilton, let's try to get something going here. Let's let this big old quarterback with a big arm maybe throw it a few times, get a couple chunk plays, and give your kicker a chance at redemption from the previous miss.
They run it again. They've thrown the ball 6 times.
Hey, huddle.
Doesn't look like Pep agrees with me. It looks like they're gonna be content going into the locker room. 6-6.
Come on, baby, stay positive. You gotta be better. I know, just stay positive. I know.
It's surprising to give up 20 seconds.
And you hear the guys in the huddle there asking Tyree, why aren't we trying to go for it? I think there was a little frustration there in the huddle, and Tyreek said, hey, let's stay positive. We got a whole second half to go.
6-6 at the half. Let's go down to Jenny Taft.
Well, Kevin, you know what Anthony just told me, and he did say this before the game. He said, I told you be ready. I'll never forget when Pep said, you told us you have one job, to disrupt the QB. You did that. How does the defense continue to build off that momentum?
At the end of the day, it's all about momentum, just like you stated. We just got to keep working as a group, stay together, stay composed, and go out and continue the job at hand.
How good does it feel to have a tie game going to the break, considering the way the last 2 weeks have gone for you guys?
Let me tell you something. Right now, the scoreboard is 0-0 to us. So as a defense, we're going to keep coming out there, giving the offense back the ball so they can have more opportunities to score. But other than that, I'm going to keep getting after that quarterback.
All right, we'll be ready.
Thank you, Jenny.
Well, got the wink and everything, Jenny. I love it. That was awesome. Well, we had a lot going on in that first half, and the defense really reigning supreme for both teams. 6-6 your score at the break here from D.C. Defenders looking for a little momentum. St. Louis making an argument to be the best team in the XFL. We're tied at the break from our nation's capital. XFL on FS1 is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. 6-6 at the half, St. Louis and D.C. A lot of defense, a lot of running in this one. Back to that in just a moment. Highlights from yesterday in the XFL. Seattle had an early lead on Houston, 14-0. But, of course, Houston, they always find a way to come back, don't they? P.J. Walker doing his thing as usual. Cam Phillips, 11-yard touchdown. A little controversy at the end, but they hold on for a 9-point win. They are unbeaten, 5-0. The Guardians are catching fire a little bit here. Luis Perez, second week starting, and he's got a couple of wins behind his belt here. 80-yarder to Colby Pearson. Made it 20-6 New York, and then a little D. How about this play? Nice play. Tip pass, Ryan Mueller. And then he picks it off himself and runs it in. And the Guardians right back in the race. 30-12, they win it. They're 3-2 with a couple wins in a row. So Perez, again, you know, the switch was made to him. He started the year as a number 3 quarterback, and now he's 2-0, played well. The defense for New York has been pretty good all year long. P.J. Walker, a couple of interceptions, but 3 more touchdowns, 351 yards. He's had an incredible year for the unbeaten Roughnecks. Here, it's a lot of defense in our first half from Washington, D.C. Teams getting set for the second half, and so are we. 6-6 score.
Run this guy vertical, right? Run this guy.
My father and my sister, so it definitely feels good.
And he's got a touchdown.
Great catch by Kari, great play. We practiced all week. Got to keep it going, though. It's a long game.
That was our game flow, brought to you by Progressive. In the first half stats, this has been a run-oriented defensive game, and you see the numbers leading to a 6-6 score right now at the break, we said, for quarter number 3. And, you know, Greg Olson, I think you got to really give credit to DC's defense, right? I mean, the St. Louis offense is dynamic. They tore apart Seattle last week. Well, they've got 135 yards of offense.
Yeah, this DC defense, you got to tip your hat to them. They've been, the last 2 weeks, they've really been abused a little bit. And Louis Chaffee, their D coordinator, he said to us, I got to get back to being more aggressive. I got to bring pressure. We got to get to Amu. We got to get guys in his face, get guys in his lap. And boy, have they done that. We saw Anthony Johnson close the half with a big sack there on 3rd down. This guy, they are doing a great job just keeping him off rhythm, off timing. And that's something St. Louis's offense is built on. Timing, passing game, how that builds in with the run. They've had no success in either area.
See how they change it. Why don't we go right to the source, because Jenny Taft is with their head coach, Jonathan Hayes.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Well, Coach, in terms of the message at the break, it felt like you guys were running the ball with ease, but unable to capitalize in the end zone in the first. What do you want to see differently?
Well, finish the plays, and let's not have the pre-snap penalties that put us in the hole, because we get behind on the call sheet. It's hard to catch up. And that's been the toughest part of the damn day.
All right, well, look forward to seeing it. Thank you for the time, Coach. Some frustration, Kevin.
Yeah, Jenny, and I get it. 6 penalties, 40 yards, and that has been part of it here today. But you like the raw emotion. Even after the cooling off at halftime, Coach Hayes is not thrilled with some of the mistakes here today. So Cardale Jones was benched in the first half, and Tyree Jackson came on and did pretty well. Didn't throw the ball well, but you like the pacing.
I do. I think the change to Jackson has allowed them to just spread out a little bit and just put a little air and put some breath into this offense. You know, it's not, we heard him say they're not going to go under center, which was a big part of their run game the previous couple weeks. You know, you see the jet sweeps, you see the ball getting out on the perimeter with their backs. I think that style of offense, and particularly the run game, that really translates well to this league and the XFL. And you know, I think it's nice to see DC kind of acknowledge that. Let's see if they can continue to layer in aspects of that offense through the second half.
A DC member got the ball to start, so now it's St. Louis's turn. So we'll wait to see Jackson. Here is Mumphrey. Out across the 25 to the 28. Quarterback comparison in this one. If you want to see the ball aired out all over the place, this is not the game for you. Ta'amu, mostly that RPO stuff, hasn't done it a lot today, and he's been pressured a ton, sacked twice. Meanwhile, Tyree Jackson does have a touchdown pass, his first of the year, but he's only thrown it 4 times, so it's kind of hard to judge what he can do with that.
What really jumps out to me, KB, is that 7 for 14. Ta'amu the entire season has just operated with such efficiencies, completion percentage. To be at 50% is very uncharacteristic of this offense, and particularly with Jordan at quarterback.
I know some of it has to do with how the defense plays you, but this was an all RPO team last week. We saw, you know, that zone read stuff, all that. We've barely seen it today.
Yeah, Chuck Long, he said sometimes teams that play a lot of man-to-man, play hard inside leverage, that RPO style is a little hard. But with his ability to zone read and pull the ball, I still think there's some hay to be made. Get back to doing what you do well.
Here he sacked again and almost lost it. The 3rd sack of the day for DC. Supeliano got it done.
Again, we see this defense, they are just bringing it. You see he's lined up out here. He's a big body guy now to be lined up at the outside, 286 pounds. This is just a pure effort rush. He takes the right tackle, he runs the edge wide, and as Ta'amu breaks contain, he just doesn't give up on his rush. Nothing fancy, that's just effort, that's want to, and that's everything Pep Hamilton is trying to bring back to this entire team.
Sorry, Greg. DC blitzes, Ta'amu sees it, escapes, looking to run, he's got a long way to go, and he's not going to get there. He's out to the 33, but he had to get to the 38 as Kinnell made the stop, and so a 3 and out as that DC defense continues to do the job.
And when you're such a run-first team as St. Louis is, we heard Jonathan Hayes, the head coach of St. Louis, mention it to Jenny coming out of halftime, whether it's penalties or tackle for loss in the run game, or of course sacks. 3rd and long, 2nd and long, that's not what this St. Louis team is built for. That's not what they want to be in. And right now, DC has them on their heels, and they find themselves in a lot of those situations.
Holloman. A decent return by Holloman, gets to the edge, and got a penalty flag back at the 35-yard line on the opposite side of the field, so hang on.
Talk on him right there. I need him.
Illegal formation, kicking team. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. First down.
So Tyree Jackson getting the call here after Cardale Jones was benched, and he's running a little bit, been somewhat effective with that. Again, he hasn't passed it much, but trying to change it up. He's got a touchdown pass. And now we'll see if they take the reins off and let him throw the ball. This is a guy that was in Bills camp. In fact, he was one of the last roster cuts for the Bills this preseason going into the regular season. And then when he got cut, he signed here with the XFL.
And I think at some point, if you're Pep Hamilton, you've got to open it up. This St. Louis defense, they're leading the league in almost every defensive category. There you go.
Oh, flipping around, big play. Tompkins has some room. Gets a block. It's DeAndre Tompkins.
Yeah, right on cue, KB. Just open it up. It doesn't have to necessarily big, long shots in the passing game. You see here, just off their inside zone, you just see him soft toss on the flip, on the reverse to Tompkins. Just spread them out. Make them have to defend the entire field, the entire width and length, and just make this really good, aggressive St. Louis team have to guard every inch of grass. And that's right now what Pep's trying to mix in. Can he mix in enough of it is the question.
On the fake. Jackson being pressured. Still alive, and we got a penalty flag. At the line of scrimmage. Looks like could you hold?
Holding. Offense number 74. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Something you see a lot when the quarterback breaks contain. This is a staple of Pep Hamilton. You see Cook right here, the right guard, who they called the hold on. Gets under center with two tight ends, play action, big post, and a crossing route. The BattleHawks did a great job defending it. He breaks contain, and sometimes those linemen just don't react to the quarterback spot moving. Grab cloth, and that's the penalty.
Pumphrey. And not much there. Terrence Garvin was in on the hit. I know that DC has run the ball almost every down today, but you know it's interesting that they're going after St. Louis's run defense. They're the second best run D in the league.
Odd Sally. Sally.
And DC today with 138 yards running.
Odd Sally. Z-drive Wrigley.
The second best run defense, #1 in points per game. This defense is an issue now. They are good. Every team coming in faces the same kind of task of breaking this code. Jay Hayes is a great coach.
Set up a screen, and Garvin just destroys the play. If Presley got by him, who knows how far he would have run, but Garvin made a great play.
We talked earlier about 26, Dexter McCoyle, but I'll tell you, Terrence Garvin, they got two fast backers in here. Got McCoyle on the left and Garvin on the right. Watch him dissect this under screen. The running back comes underneath the offensive lineman from the backside, and Garvin was all over it. Great open field tackle. They have two really athletic, versatile inside linebackers that allows Jay Hayes to really run a lot of multiple fronts and coverages.
Third down and 21, and a quick throw underneath. There's Presley out of the backfield, and Presley hurdling people, working down to the 35. And that does a couple things. A, you got a fourth down and long, but at least makeable, and that also puts you in field goal range.
It looks like that's what they're going to do.
Over, out.
Good. Well, Rousa has a field goal miss here today, and this will be a long one. His long on the year is 54.
Wide open, baby.
And this will be a 52-yard field goal out of Jackson's hold. And this time, Rousa got it. He makes the adjustment from last time. He delivers from 52 yards out, and that play to Presley got him the field goal. Well, this run game is controlling things for Pep Hamilton. The field goal by Rousa gives him the lead. XFL on FS1 is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Back here in Washington, D.C., where the Defenders up 9-6 on the BattleHawks. Low-scoring, defensive, run-oriented game. What type of game that D.C. is looking for to get back in the groove, and a gorgeous afternoon in our nation's capital. So And he stood up before the 25-yard line. Jenny Taft is working all the angles. Jenny, what are you doing down there right now?
Well, it helps, Kevin, when everyone is so easy to chat with. And this one is actually a bit more for Greg, because I know he was teammates with Marcus Lucas. And Lucas pulled me aside after the break. He said, hey, I got to ask Greg, what do I need to do? I'm in a bit of a slump, but he said it with a smile on his face. He said, ask Greg for some advice here. How do I make a play? How do I make myself known? So, Greg, what do you need to see?
I think he's got to just make one play. I think the next ball that gets thrown to him, I think he's overthinking it. I think he thinks every play needs to be a huge, impactful downfield play. I told him, just catch one ball, make one block, spring one run. Just do whatever that next thing they ask you to do it. Relax, settle down. He'll be fine. He's a talented kid, great receiver. He can't start questioning his strengths. That's what's gotten him to this point.
Ready, go!
Washington's got it. Are you talking to your friend, or is that like the Greg Olson press conference answer right now?
No, I'm telling him that's my buddy. That's my guy. I don't want to see him struggle. There's nothing worse than as a receiver, pass catcher, to start doubting yourself, right? You start overthinking it. You hear guys say all the time, oh, I don't trust catching the ball. I spent so much time on the jugs this week and extra. You start doing that, you're in trouble, because now it's in your head. You're altering your approach. Best thing he's done in all the years I've been around him is run routes and catch the ball with his hands. That's your strength. Just play to your game.
Hasn't caught one yet today. Here, though, they go to Washington. Great route and room to run. And a big gain down near the 40 for LaDamian Washington. A perfect throw, perfect execution for 28.
It's a simple mesh route. Washington has press coverage here. He's going to run a drag. You're going to see Marcus Lucas come from the other side. You saw him real fast. And they're told to just run interference for your man. Run right into the defender, make him bubble over. He does a great job freeing up Washington, who does the rest.
Here is Michael for a short gain. So just to finish the thought, when you're in one of those games and the offense is maybe struggling, it really just takes one catch, just see it in your hands, and you start to feel a little bit better about yourself?
It does. You got to make that one catch. We've all been there. We've had those games where it doesn't seem like anything goes your way. All week in practice, you're thinking about it.
Michael thinking about 6, and a good run for Christian Michael. He's got 21 yards right up the gut, and another St. Louis first down.
They got 3 really good backs. We see a lot of Matt Jones, but here, Michael, this is just inside zone. When you can spread them out and they have to guard everything with the RPOs and the wide smoke screens, all of a sudden there becomes a lot more space in the middle of the defense. Michael was able to hit that one hard and pick up a big chunk.
And one note, Greg, Brian Folkerts, the starting center who got hurt early in this game, is back in on this drive, so maybe that's relative to some of these holes opening up.
Not surprised. Folkerts, we used to call him Caveman Center. He had a long beard, long ponytail. He literally won Halloween dressed up as a caveman. He is a tough, smart kid. It's good to see him back in there.
Second and long is a keeper to Amu, and down to the 20. So we call it a 3rd and 10.
They haven't been able to get him going in the run game. Last week was the exact opposite. He was kind of the star of the show when the running backs were really stuffed. They've done a nice job corralling him, forcing the handoff, but now you see here, now they're kind of giving DC a little taste. They got both Ford and Jones in the backfield together. You got 2 great run threats standing next to Ta'amu.
DC shows blitz. They back off. Ta'amu gets it out to Ford. I don't know if he ever saw it. It was a bullet up by his hands, just couldn't connect. And 4th down.
Well, if these fans are DC United soccer fans, they're thrilled because we're having a kicking competition right now. We're seeing which team's kicker can continue to keep the streak alive.
So it'll be Russolino for the tie. He's got 2 field goals today, 1 from 35, 1 from 40. And Russolino will try this one from 38. It's up. And Russolino does his job. No, he does not. He can't put it home. His first miss of the year, a high snap, did not help. And St. Louis fails to capitalize.
Great job there by King, the punter, getting the ball down. Something of note, on the last punt the BattleHawks had, Tanner Carew, number 48, the long snapper, he was brought into the medical tent. He was hurt. I don't know if he's still dinged up. I don't know if he's still feeling the kind of the result of that injury, whatever the case may be. He was holding his rib or something in his midsection. but that was a bad snap. And they're lucky they even got that ball on the ground to get the kick off.
Yeah, they did. It was uber close, but it just leaked away at the last second. So his first miss of the year means DC remains in front. And now they're football in the third with Jackson delivering Presley. And he's got, so Presley's had a nice roll today. Let's go down the field, though, with Jenny Taft.
Okay.
Hey.
Just going to let them have their moment, Kevin.
Same even dart on Sunday.
All right, sorry to interrupt you guys. I know this is...
Shot downfield or whatever.
What are you guys talking about first?
Just protection-wise, if the running back should stay in or not. But, we just got to keep playing and just keep making the right reads, and it's all going to open up soon. So.
Has there been anything in terms of DC and what they're doing that has surprised you guys on offense?
No, everything, we're just killing ourselves in the foot. And everything we've seen on film, they're doing the exact same thing. So we just got to execute, make smart decisions, and score.
Okay, thanks for the time.
Jenny, thanks. That was really cool, just kind of watching that conversation unfold, and then Jenny getting in there. So neat, able to get that access. Meanwhile, DC completing to Ross for a first down. And here's Presley. Ooh. And the ball is, look at this, Presley's still going.
Everybody on St. Louis thought he was down.
Yes, they did, and he didn't.
What a great job by Presley. Watch him. He kind of jumps over these guys here. Oh, he's not even close to being down.
Hey.
Great awareness. Seattle, St. Louis, they got to finish that play. Jay Hayes, Jonathan Hayes, they are not going to be happy. You heard Jonathan Hayes tell Jenny, we got to start finishing drives, finishing plays. That's a perfect example right there.
Presley's got 71 yards rushing. Here it's Pumphrey back in the game.
Hey, let's go, Corey, baby.
And he's going to have about 3.5. So Presley's had a big impact here today. There you see him, number 26. And he had a big college career in New Mexico. 36 rushing TDs. And he's the second most ever at New Mexico. And he's kind of injected some life into this run game.
Yeah, both their top backs, KB, have some of the most historically proficient careers in college football history. I mean, Donnell Pumphrey at San Diego State, and like you mentioned, Presley at New Mexico. These two guys are accustomed to getting big yardage over the course of their career.
And on the money was for that one's to Simi Coates, still on his feet. He's in. Oh, they're going to mark him down at the half-yard line, but there's a penalty too, so hang on. Well, Simi's into the crowd already. But the official on the far side of the field said he was down just short of the goal line, so a lot to sort out. There's a penalty too back around the 20.
He's coming back.
Got something at the goal line. He's got a
I think Simi wanted a piece of the beer snake.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, he's short.
He nails the receiver downfield. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
So all that for nothing as Rashard Cook, the right guard, was the man penalized.
Some of the challenges with this RPO style. Yeah, so what happens is they're double team. You can see them right there. We don't have a great angle on it, but that's the double team that Cook and the center are on. And they just take that defensive lineman 5 yards down the field. You can go 3 yards. This is the college rule, not the NFL rule. You can be 3 yards down the field. But he blocked his guy 5 yards down the field. That's a tough call. I don't know what you tell Cook there other than great block. He thinks the running back has the ball, you know.
No doubt. On the fake, Jackson in deep trouble. Backing away, just tries to underarm it back to the line of scrimmage. As big-time pressure coming from Will Hill on the blitz.
I think they're going to say Brissett was in the area, the running back. They were trying to set up a screen.
Hey!
In the vicinity. Second down.
Good call.
Yeah, great job. I mean, you saw him kind of flopping and falling. He threw it underhand, but 31%. Let's see if the ball travels over his head. It's kind of hard to see. There, he's right there. That's the running back, and the side judge obviously thought that ball at least went in his direction. Nice awareness there by Jackson.
And now we get a timeout. St. Louis uses their first timeout, so a little helter-skelter action going on here. It'll be a 3rd and long for DC when we return.
Goodness gracious, you okay? You act like you're tired. Let's go! Come on! Let's go!
Come on, Ty. Come on, Ty. Help me one time. Yes, we need one.
Ty being Ty Rouza, the field goal kicker, who missed one earlier but got a 52-yarder.
Even rocket.
Pep Hamilton, the head coach of DC. 3rd and long coming up.
Sunday. Hurry. Second.
Blitz coming. Jackson sees it. Throw is a little bit behind Tompkins, and it's incomplete. And now does he have faith and go back to Rouza for another long field goal try? Looks like it.
I think he does.
Make sure his groin's okay.
Hey, I'm hot, so I'm trying to get it.
So Rouza, who just hit a 52-yarder, will now try from 51. Snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up, and that is good. So Rouza has made amends after missing his first. He's got a 52 and a 51-yard field goal, and DC extends the lead. Saturday, XFL football is on FS2. Jordan Ta'amu and St. Louis taking on Tampa Bay at 5 Eastern. And then next Sunday, Dallas battling DC at FS1 at 4 Eastern. Don't miss a second of all the action. Saturday, it's on FS2. Next Sunday on FS1. You can stream it all on the Fox Sports app. So they officially credit that as a 50-yard field goal. But you get the idea. Bottom line is Rouza has delivered a 6-point lead for the defenders.
And what's interesting, KB, is this, this St. Louis defense, they almost look a little bit on their heels. They look a little bit, they're hanging their heads. They're walking around like, what's going on? They've given up 12 points.
Yeah.
In this game, it seems like a million, right? 4 scoring drives, but you've given up, if you came into this game and said, hey, we're going to give up 4 field goals, you'd be thrilled. They're only giving up 15 points a game. You're still 3 points under that. They're doing a great job. They need their offense to pick it up a little bit and hold up their end of the bargain.
Mumphrey on the return, and now we'll see what that offense can do. You got to give credit to DC's defense. I mean, the last 2 weeks, they have gotten absolutely gashed. I mean, just look at this. 32 points per game. That was the average the last 2 weeks, and today, 6. And it's not been by accident. They've played a stout game. They have, and they've made some changes. We talked at the top of the show about Matt Elam, the veteran safety. He was let go, allow some of the younger guys to come play. Louis Chaffee, he's now on the sideline. He was in the booth earlier. Maybe he feels better being down in the action. And there is...
Odd razor, easy palms. Odd razor, easy palms.
There is the defensive coordinator for the defenders, Greg was talking about.
I've always been fascinated. Some coordinators love being down on the field. They love the energy and the attitude. Some guys want to be alone in a quiet box and get a bird's eye view. Everybody's a little different. They made the change and seems to be working.
Trying to get Lucas involved, and again, those two can't connect today. And this has been the issue, Greg. 3rd and long. St. Louis came in the best 3rd down team in the league. They're only 4 of 11 here today.
Yeah, and they're 0 for 6 on 3rd down today. It's just these 3rd and long situations are not conducive for this offense, first and foremost. But plays like that on 2nd down that all season have been routine pitch and catch, stay ahead of the chains. For some reason today, their timing is off, their rhythm is off. You see Marcus, obviously he told us he's thinking about it a lot.
Ta'amu, pressure, rolling, looking, throwing, can't connect to Russell. There is a penalty flag as well, so St. Louis might get another chance.
I think Anthony Johnson tried to time the snap again.
Offside. Defense number 97. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Second time he's done that.
It's the second time he's done it. He did it there at the end of the 2nd quarter. He got the sack. He's up top right there. You can kind of see him at the top of the screen. He timed that one pretty good. kind of hard from that angle to tell if he crossed the neutral zone or not, but we've seen him do that now twice. So if you're him, hey, put your eyes on the back tip of the ball, hunker down, wait for that ball to move, and then come. Stop listening to the quarterback. Stop thinking you're timing the snap, because now you're giving them a chance now instead of getting off the field to convert this third down.
3rd and 2. Damo delivers, first down. Russell turned around, made a nice catch on that. He's out to the 45, and a big conversion for St. Louis.
It's undefeated, though. You give a chance to a team like this, you can see him. He's out here. He just runs a little follow route. Watch, go stutter, come into the vacated zone. Not a great throw, a little behind him, but a good catch. It's undefeated, KB. If you're a defense and you have a critical error on 3rd down and you give a team a second chance, they always seem to convert. In that case, is no different.
Certainly seems like it, right? As Matt Jones picks up 6 on 1st down. And Jones now 9 carries for 55 yards, and see if the BattleHawks can build a little momentum after that penalty. They go quick. Jones has it again, breaks the tackle, 1st down. Matt Jones with a couple nice runs back to back.
He's so elusive. I mean, Jonathan Celeste, number 52, he had him unblocked in the hole. But Matt Jones, he is a tough guy to get down on the field. He can run between the tackles. He can run outside tackles. And now look, they take him out, and you're the defense. Now you got to face 2 fresh backs that are just as good in Michael and Ford. This 3-headed rushing attack is very difficult on defenses.
They'll throw it, though, and Tom, who's going deep down the far side of the field. Is he inbounds? He is!
What a catch.
Oh, my goodness. Washington twisting and turning and staying in bounds. 29 yards.
This is just an unbelievable catch. Watch, he's fighting the guy. He saves room on the sideline. And he almost reaches behind his head. The best thing he did, he gave his quarterback a chance to throw that ball to the outside by not getting pushed too wide by the corner. Quarterback drops it in the bucket. He makes an unbelievable adjustment.
And here is Pearsonell. Good tackle by Desmond Lawrence. And that may take us to the end of the quarter. We got an injured defender. And it is Lawrence who just made that really nice tackle over on the sideline.
The secondary's having a tough day. Already seen Elijah Campbell have to leave the game with a shoulder injury, and he's been ruled out. This would be a tough loss for them.
Something happened because he got up right after the tackle and then kind of went back down to the ground. Let's see. I thought he got up right there. He tried to at least, yeah.
It looks like he's holding his stomach, doesn't he? Looked like maybe when he fist pumped, he like pulled something, or they're holding his rib or his chest. That was strange.
Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, for Pearsonell, he came in number 15 for St. Louis, their leading receiver. It's the first catch he's had all day.
Yeah, he's a guy that's really come to life the last few weeks. He's done a great job working the slot, working the RPO type stuff. And he's been super quiet. Before that last catch by Washington, really the entire receiving core, including the tight ends, the entire passing game has been pretty quiet. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come. Try to get Pearsonell involved, because he's a big play guy for them in the slot. He's made a lot of big plays over the last couple weeks.
And now in the red zone, maybe that guy can make a play. Whistle blows. It should be the end of the third quarter. A couple more seconds, and it is. And so the defenders with the lead heading to the fourth. The BattleHawks on the move, though. High drama building from D.C. We head to the fourth. There's been quite the construction during the break as we head to the fourth quarter. The beer snake, the cup snake, whatever you want to call it, is really taking. I mean, this is a lot. It's a lot of beers.
The crowd went nuts. Those two guys are grinding in the middle in the white T-shirts right there. They are grinding. The poor guy in row one, though, has been holding that cup for 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of weight on the triceps to hold that up the entire. Now you figure you got to try and get to the top.
You've got to get to the top. You got 15 minutes. You got one quarter.
And and they're throwing, people are throwing cups at them to add to the collection.
Hopefully they're dumping them out first. Everyone's trying to contribute, but
trust me,
I don't want your backwash spraying on my back.
Wild.
That's fun.
What a scene.
Good for them. They're still working.
Jumbo package for St. Louis. Knocking on the door, down by 6. Matt Jones. Good hole. Up the middle. It's Matt Jones inside the 5 and close to a first down. He'll be a little short.
DZ now is bringing in some big boys. They've shown this look. They got 5 big defensive linemen that are all going to put their hand on the ground, try to cover up this entire front. On the other side, St. Louis they brought in the jumbo. Michael Miller's the left tight end. You see all the D linemen.
Jones on 3rd down, stacked up. Did he get there? I don't think he did. Jameer Thurman made the first hit, but he had some help, and now it's 4th down and 1.
Let's see if they stay with this look. St. Louis is taking the jumbo tight end out, bringing in 2 new receivers. Looks like they're going to stay 5 big down linemen on defense and say, you're not going to run this ball in. We're going to force you to pass it.
Here we go. 4th and 1 for Tamu. Tamu on the keeper, makes a move, and I don't know. The spot, he's short. He did not get there. What a stand by DC.
Right in front of the cup snake. Crowd is going wild. But great adjustment by the defensive coordinator. We've talked about him a lot, Louis Trophy. There's something about the guy I just really have enjoyed. Look at these big bodies here, all 5 coming off the ball. There's nowhere for him to go. Great job there. You see Tavares Barnes, number 91, keep contained. Funnels it back in. Jonathan Celestin, he's had a couple bad plays, but when the team needed him the most, came up with a big stop. Trophy told us, take away what they do best, which has obviously been the zone read and the RPO. And he's done exactly that this entire game. He's taken away what St. Louis has built this offense on, and it's really shown.
They bring out the 6 just to measure, just for good measure, and just to confirm that he did not get it. You're right. I mean, you watched last week and the way the St. Louis team ran their offense with Tamu just dominating, running the ball out, running that RPO offense, and today they have had trouble doing a lot. Penalties have hurt, 3rd and longs have hurt, but that was just a great stand by DC.
Great stand. Remember, Louis Trophy spent a long time, 10+ years on the staff with Jonathan Hayes. He said he's had this game circled. They have a ton of respect for each other. They're great friends. I'll tell you what, he was fired up. It almost feels like he's been prepping for this game the last 3 weeks.
Circled on the calendar.
And he forgot to prepare for the previous 2, but I'll tell you what, it's paid off today. They are on fire right now on defense, and they're giving St. Louis everything they can handle.
That was a 10-play drive that lasted 5 minutes and 40 seconds, and they get nothing. Meanwhile, not much on 1st down. Jenny Taft is near the cup snake.
Can we talk about the best tradition in the XFL, the beer snake? Now, I've done some research, Kevin. This thing started as 2 different snakes. They combined in the 4th quarter because this is what it's all about. I want to take you through just how long this thing is. The fans in DC having an absolute amazing time. Guys, how challenging is it to make sure this thing doesn't break?
Huh?
How challenging is it to break?
Not at all. Just hold it. Come on.
Not at all. Everyone having fun here, Kevin. It started as 2. It's 1, and they're going all the way. What else can you want here?
That's a lot of cups, and a lot of beers have been consumed. Wow.
That's awesome.
It's pretty good.
It's so fun. This place is going to go wild if they get to the top of that stadium.
It's making its way there.
They're not far. What do you think? 25 rows away?
Well, I don't know if they could do that in 12.5 minutes. That's the only thing. 3rd down and 6 for the defenders. Challenge is laid out, Greg. You did it.
Come on now.
See if
Don't
Jenny
let us
can
down,
help out.
Defenders.
And the defenders will call a timeout here. So while they call a timeout, we'll go to break. We have counted. Mitch Smith has given us a count. It's 14 more rows.
Okay.
Jenny, get in there. Make it happen. Timeout. out, DC. We are back. That's just the XFL commissioner, Oliver Luck, who got the beer snake / cup snake going. Said, come on, keep going. How fun is that? Meanwhile, we've reached a critical point in this game. DC up by 6, 12:25 to go. It's a 3rd down and 5. So even after St. Louis got stuffed,
don't push it.
It's a huge defensive stand if they can make it here.
Hurry, hurry, go.
Brissett in the game. Keeper by Jackson. What a move. First down. How about that? All 6, 7 of them. He got by Will Hill, and he moves the chains.
You see Andrew Anchor right here. He's the read. He takes the back. Now Will Hill, he's got to make this tackle in the open field. We've seen this now a few times out of Jackson. He's deceptively athletic for a big guy. Will Hill's one of the best players the BattleHawks have. Just couldn't bring him down in the open field. As you said, that would have been a huge 3 and out. But instead, they got a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, Jackson's got 32 yards rushing. And he's done it on plays like that. It just kind of, you wonder, how did he do it? And now, trying to continue this drive.
I feel like there's a lot of parallels right now between that cup snake trying to finish this stadium and DC trying to finish this game. They're both grinding it out. See if either one of them have any luck.
Hurry, hurry, go.
Good hard running. And a first down, 2. Presley's had a nice day. We get a multiple penalty flags, too, at the end of this play.
It's a personal foul.
You heard Jackson. That's
UNS
spiked the ball right in his face.
All right, so we're going to be 1st and 10. So it'll be 26 on the offense. Okay.
That's a critical error.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense number 26, 15 yards from the end of the run. First down. It'll be 1st and 10.
Just about to say, he's having a monster day. He's approaching 100 yards. Don't need this.
You don't need that. You're trying to run this game out. You're controlling it. Your run game. You heard Tyree Jackson tell him, come on, man, it's a personal foul. What are you doing? Pep Hamilton immediately took him out of the game. You know, that you get the fresh set of downs, but now you're back on the 16-yard line.
Hurry, hurry, go.
There's Pumphrey. And Pumphrey gets 5 yards on first down.
Model.
How about this? 350 combined rushing yards is the most in any XFL game this year. Has been the game plan. We know it's always St. Louis's game plan. And DC runs a lot. 3rd most in the league. Not as much as this. But it's worked.
Hurry.
They've got the lead with 10:18 to play. An eternity in this league. And here comes a 3rd down and short.
Hey, Model. Hey, Model. 3rd and 1. Hey, swerve. Hey, wax push track on Sunday. Swerve, wax push track.
Presley's back in. His timeout is over. He said, all right, I hope you learned your lesson. Go get us the first down and bail yourself out.
Hurry, go.
3rd and 1. Jackson gonna keep. Jackson lunging forward. It's just big enough that he might have lunged forward and got it with his size, and it looks like he did. Unless the spot isn't as fortuitous.
I think he's got it. Look there, right?
It certainly looks like it. Looked like it initially.
Hey, I'm 6'7".
Hey, review the spot.
Did you just hear Jackson? Hey, I'm 6'7".
I'm 6'7".
He's not wrong.
I'm tired as a bitch.
He said, I'm tired, but I'm 6'8". He's all of it. We saw him in warm-ups. He is a monster.
Here's the measurement. All of that 6'7". He wasn't kidding.
See where his elbow goes down.
Come on, yo.
Not sure if there's enough there to make any
Double
change.
right hop. Wiz Rebel, Z Omaha. Zebra, zebra, zebra. Double right hop. Wiz Rebel, Z Omaha.
Hey, odd Wiz on Sunday,
Jackson keeps finding a way on these critical downs to slither enough for a first down, whether it's 1, 5, or 8 yards.
Hurry, hurry.
Look how many guys are in the box for St. Louis on defense. They have completely sold out on the run.
That time, Will Hill from the secondary comes up, and that's a loss for Presley. And why wouldn't you, right? I mean, you're talking about Presley, you're talking about Jackson, who's thrown it 11 times total.
I think Jay Hayes right now and his brother Jonathan, the head coach, they got to say, all right, you know what? We have got to sell out 8, 9 in the box. Let's put our corners on islands, bring our safeties down there and say, hey, you passed the ball over our head, you beat us with your arm, fine. We're not going to let you just kill us by a death by 1,000 paper cuts with this run game.
Second and long. Jackson going to throw incomplete, as you were saying. Let's hear the call from Pep Hamilton.
Zebra, zebra. Be ready to take your burst, okay, buddy? Hey! Here we go. Triple left, even key, special burst. All right? Trips left, even key, special burst.
Hey, right here. Hey, even key on Sunday,
Be interesting to see here if the BattleHawks bring some pass rush, bring a blitz, bring something.
Hey, go rip.
So they brought the call. You see these guys over here. Yep, and they come.
Jackson in trouble, and down he goes. On cue, Greg Olsen, Kenny Robinson, who had the interception earlier, the safety blitz, and a huge play for St. Louis.
Yeah, they got a great third down blitz package. You see here, we got 26 Dexter McCoyle and 23 Kenny Robinson. That's the backs guy. The back just whiffs. The lineman made the call. You heard him say rip. It's key protection. You heard Pep call that. Key protection is a very standard 6-man protection a lot of teams have used. That's the backs guy all day long. He just blew the protection scheme. And he allowed Kenny Robinson to come untouched for a huge sack. And they're almost back where this drive started.
They are. Pearson L. returning. He had 3 punt return touchdowns in college. Think of the same thing here. Surveys, steps up, hits reverse, and backwards he goes. He tried to make something happen, but Donnie Ernsberger, the 3rd-string tight end, wasn't having it. It makes a nice play. But a long way to go. 7:03 to be exact here from our nation's capital. Jordan Ta'amu making a case to be this league's MVP. Can he put his offense on his back? Because they got work to do. Down by 6. So you look at the MVP favorites in the league. P.J. Walker has been sensational for the Roughnecks. They're 5-0, but this man is right there. Jordan Ta'amu has put up wonderful numbers both in the air and on the ground. And you see the comparison. Obviously, P.J. Walker's offense throws it a lot more. That's why the touchdowns are such a disparity. Jordan Ta'amu runs a primarily rushing offense. But if you want to be an MVP, you need an MVP-type drive, which is what they need right now. D.C. up by 6, but plenty of time left in this game. 7:03, and Jordan Ta'amu and company have a field position now to start this drive on their own 38-yard line. Ta'amu today just 12 of 21 throwing, 131 yards. He's been sacked 3 times. And the run game has not been there for him personally. 4 carries, 18 yards. On first down, 4-man rush. Throws not there, takes off, and that's not there either. It's going to be the 4th sack of the day. Sprinkle was there first.
We talked earlier, this defensive front, Tracy Sprinkle, 93, Elijah Qualls, number 92. They got some big dudes up front. You add in Anthony Johnson on the edge. This has been kind of a re-energized bunch. St. Louis has not had the answer right now offensively, and this is a critical time.
A little flip. Pearson L. gets it. Hasn't had many touches today, and it's well played. The defenders were all over it. Jonathan Celestine. Let's hear the call from Chuck Long now on a big 3rd.
11. All right, let's go. Double right, 901, wide climb. Double right, 901, wide climb.
901, wide climb.
Let's go dual right.
Dual right. Hey, dual.
Blitz coming. Ta'amu sees, gets away, throws, incomplete. More on the safety blitz. Had to rush Ta'amu, and the pressure all day has been a factor.
Again, another great third down blitz design. You see they have guys walked up on the other side on the snap. They bail. The offensive line has nobody accounting for Raheem Moore coming off the backside edge. You see him, Tracy Sprinkle, who set the tone on that first play of that set. They have just suffocated this really good St. Louis offense. You got to give DC and their entire defensive side of the ball a ton of credit today.
Impressive 3 and out. It's blocked by Thurman. Picked up. Celestine rumbling inside the 5.
Officials timeout for an injured player.
They've now changed. They've kind of reversed the roles here. You see number 53, Jameer Thurman. He just beats his guy right off the edge. Dexter McCoyle. We talked earlier about what a good player he was. And then Jonathan Celestin, the irony that he gave up the block punt earlier in the game for the defenders. Now he scoops up the ball, takes it down, and now they got first and goal at the 4-yard line. And something else, KB. Okay, King, he is hobbling off the field. It's a big loss. You're losing their punter.
Well, he got smashed on that play. Boy, how about DC? A 3 and out. They blocked the punt. And what a turn of events. And here it is, 1st and goal with Pumphrey in the game. 3 tight ends as well. Jackson pressure, throws, and smartly throws it away. He had no chance as Will Hill came on the blitz.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say defense, special teams. Their offense has done just enough today, right? They haven't been great by any stretch of the imagination, but they've been efficient. And I'll tell you what, you got to give Pep Hamilton and this staff a lot of credit for the way they've regrouped following the 2 big losses on the road, come back home. This St. Louis defense, KB, this has been the backbone of this team. Can they hold here and keep it 9? Which, remember, in the XFL is still a 1-score game with the point after rules.
It's a great call. That's why this play is enormous. Or maybe it's even Pep Hamilton thinking, hey, why not? Maybe we just go for it on 4th down 2.
I think if I'm Pep, I'm going for it. I'm trying to put the nail in the coffin here. I'm trying to make this to a minimum 12, depending on the result.
Even Wiz Y arc. Double left, F flow. Double left, F flow. Even Wiz Y arc.
Hey, even Wiz.
I think it's going to be another zone read. Even Wiz has been kind of their run game. Arc, without knowing their system, tells me we're going to arc here and block. Yep.
Delayed game. Offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Oh, that's a huge call.
I think that changes your thinking, right?
All right, come on, let's go. Here we go.
Hey, I'm going to make us right.
Nope, here we go.
Hey,
all right, great. Here we go. Let's go. Tiger, tiger, tiger.
Tiger, tiger.
Tiger, tiger, tiger.
Tiger, tiger.
All right, we got firm right, F counter, Ox even key, smash, X bash leak. Firm right, F counter. Hurry up, let's go. Ox even key, smash, X bash leak. Let's go.
So Tiger is their 2 tight end personnel. You'll see them in a wing formation. Kari Lee, the 2nd tight end, going in motion.
Jackson looking to throw. Blitz is picked up, goes into the flat. There's Lee, but he is not going to get to the end zone, obviously. He's out of bounds at the 4, and now here comes the field goal unit.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. Earlier, you're on the 2-yard line. You're thinking, run it up the middle. Maybe you're on the half-yard line, 1-yard line. You got a shot. I think the chance to make this a 9-point game with just under 4 minutes with a pretty much routine field goal here, I think this is the right move. That delay game really, I think, changed the approach that Pep Hamilton had and some of the options at his disposal.
Rausa making a 9-point game, and he does just that. 22 yards out. 9-point lead. The reason that's currently downstairs. Let's go down there with Jenny Taft, another hero.
Kevin, I've got Jameer with the block, Jonathan with the recovery. Now, you guys have been feeding off the energy of this crowd. Just to be back and for the defense to be doing their job today, how good does it feel?
Oh, it feels great.
it feels great. You know, when we out there on teams, defense flying around, getting back to our usual selves here in D.C., it's a great feeling today.
You know, we just came with some energy today. We want to make sure that we play for each other. It's kickoff. We want to make sure we play for each other and make sure we had the fans happy because they came to show up. So we'll see. I got to go, though.
Go for it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, they have come with the energy. I think that's a great line because it's evident, right, Greg? I mean, we've seen it defensively. I mean, especially here late in this game, a couple big stands, and then the special teams, obviously. And who can forget the memorable cup snake? Come on.
The cup snake, I think, has really set the tone for the entire day. I think their perseverance. But all kidding aside, remember, Pep Hamilton told us on the call, he said, I feel like the last 2 weeks we were tired. You know, we flew out to L.A., cross-country for the first time as a group. We had no energy. We came out flat, kind of carried that over into last week's game. They look like a different team here at home, you know, on their home turf. This is what they started the season, the first 2 weeks.
As you pointed out, it's still a one-possession game because your ability to go for 3 after a touchdown. Mumphrey in return. And up to the 25 where Freeman was there on the tackle. So 3:28 to go. A one-possession game, but the St. Louis offense hasn't been able to do much.
Yeah, it's a one-possession game, but as you mentioned at the end of the half with the timing rules, you know, 3:28, you're probably going to get the ball at least twice, regardless of what happens here. If not, maybe a third time. So I don't think you need to go crazy right now. Say if we don't score, this is 4 down. You got time. They got to just get back to being in rhythm, get back to what's gotten them here.
4-man rush to Amu. Going far side. Washington's wide open. How in the world did Washington get that wide open and a huge hookup on first down?
We saw this earlier. They run the speed out by the slot versus cover 2, and they just call that a hole shot. You throw it between the safety and the sideline over the head of the corner. That's the dead spot in cover 2. It's the second time today they've attacked that, and they've hit it both times.
And 40 yards to Washington.
Tread 2.
Let's go, tread 2, tread 2. Let's go, get set.
I love the up-tempo here. Quick play call.
Get set. Ready, go.
Tamu on the fake, gets it out to Lucas, the tight end, gets a block from Washington. So Washington makes the 40-yard reception, then has a nice block, and Lucas near a first down.
Can you get it? All right, let's go. Tread 2. Tread 2. Tread 2.
You notice the difference in the play calls, KB. Tread 2, tread 2. That's a quick alert on the ball. Snap it and let's go.
Trying to go hurry. Here is Michael. Dances. Boy, it's a risky move, and it's going to pay off. And maybe a face mask to boot at the end of it. Initially, I was wondering if that cut was a mistake, but it's going to work out, I think, for St. Louis.
I think they both grabbed each other's face mask. This was a risky cut right there.
Personal foul, face mask. Offense number 32.
Yeah, you're right.
15 yards from the spot of the foul. Maybe third down.
That's what it looked like live. I think Harris is, he grabbed the shoulder pad. Michael grabbed the face mask. That's a good job by the ref there. The official made the right call. I mean, ripped his helmet off his head.
Yeah, they see. I don't think it was even the initial. It's just he didn't let go. I mean,
that's you go from. I thought on second down, I thought they could have gotten the first instead of going out of bounds. Then you have third and an inch. Now next thing you know, you're in 3rd and 15. It's been the story of their entire day.
Here's the thing, though. Even though it's a one-score game with 9, you would take a field goal here, though, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. They've got to come away here with points, especially after the big play earlier to Washington at the top. They've got to get in field goal range here. They got to get that communicated to Jordan.
Got a kicker with a big leg. 3rd and forever. Ta'amu can run. He will. Makes a move. Ta'amu makes more than a move as he's close to a first down. He picks up 13 on the play. He is close, and we get to the 2-minute warning so the coaching staff can think about whether they want to go for it. Wow.
Wow. Things that really changes Jonathan Hayes' approach.
So it'll be a 4th and 1. Everything on the line when we come back. The defenders trying to hang on in D.C.
After combining for 31 three-pointers in their quarterfinal wins, now DePaul and Seton Hall meet for a ticket to the Big East Women's Basketball Championship game. It's the first of 2 semifinals, Kevin. It's going down in Chicago on FS1 at 6 Eastern.
Move tight.
All right, John, thank you. 15-9. It's a one-score game. 2 minutes to go. 4th and 1. St. Louis. What did they call? Remember on their 2 possessions ago, they got stopped on a 4th and 1 down at the 5. And so we come down to that again. This play started with a 40-yard pass to LaDamian Washington to get this drive going. And remember, in the XFL, you can go for 3 after a touchdown. That's why this is a one-score game. 4th and 1. Here we go. They go jumbo formation with an extra lineman.
Look how many guys in the box DC has.
Damu just going to give it to Matt Jones. And his second ever. Did he get there? I don't know. He looks short.
I think he's short. I think he's short.
I do too.
He had to get clearly to the 24-yard line. He's a half-yard short.
Oh, that spot, no way. So they decide to run it right at the line despite everyone they had in the box. And they'll measure this, but looks like no chance.
Review the spot, John. Ask him to review the spot.
Hey, Ref, I'm watching it, man. What? I'm watching that wrist now, Ref.
All right, I got it.
Oh, yeah, he big short.
That ain't close. He big short. Oh, yeah. Ain't close.
So they see the spot, he's not even close. Now, I'm sure they're going to look at this and replay, but first breath, it didn't look like he got there.
He didn't. And I think the only fact that he even got as close as he did was just on second effort. He was hit. Look here, we talked. They brought in 12 heavy. That's their tight end. That's their extra offensive lineman, 64. And as we've seen the entire game, this defensive line has just given them fits up front.
Now, Greg, the only thing I would say is, were his knees down right there?
Yeah.
I still think he's short.
I think so, too. But now they can't quit now. Again, we keep harping on these timing rules. They have time to get the ball back here. This defense, they need a stand, and they need a stand in 3 plays.
They got 1 timeout left, and that's one way to start it. And remember, inside 2 minutes, the clock stops after every play. It doesn't start until the play clock hits 20.
Sure, let's do it.
And with 1 timeout, if they hold him, they will get the ball back with a decent amount of time to work here.
Pistol, tray right tack, F-can, same piston check. Same piston check. Pistol, tray right tack, F-can. Here we go.
Hey, piston, ready? Piston check. Let's go.
Piston check.
Hey, Sunday.
Play clock already at 2.
Hurry, let's go.
And Jackson realized it. Look at this, Presley. They weren't ready. Sprinting to the outside. He's got a first down. Boy, that's a heck of a job by Jackson to realize the play clock was where it was.
So you heard him say pistol check with F-can. So they brought, 80 was lined up here to the start. They brought him over. It's a check. They can run it to either side. But he just aborts the play. He just takes it out to the backside and says, forget running to the left. And Presley says, I'm just running to daylight off the backside. I love giving the quarterback options to run both sides, run the best play against the best look. Great job there by Pep Hamilton, and great execution.
Straight give Presley. Fighting his way for a 4-yard gain. See if St. Louis, they've got 1 timeout in their pocket. Clock stops until the play clock hits 20.
They're not going to use their timeouts.
They're going to save the timeout here. So if they stop on the next 2 plays, and obviously we'll get it back.
Hey, I said piston.
But really, 1 more first down will do it for DC.
Love you.
And young Tyree Jackson.
Hurry,
trying to secure a win. He's going to hand it off here. Presley with a nice move and a first down. Jarrell Presley is over 100 yards rushing. And that should seal the deal for the defenders.
Got to tip your hats here to DC. Pep Hamilton rallied his guys. But I'll tell you what, we've seen almost every team in this league for the last 5 weeks, KB. This St. Louis team now, they're for real. Don't let today, take away from what a good team this is. Today was a tough day. Didn't play as well as they wanted to offensively. Their defense is going to keep them in every single game. They'll figure out this offense to Amu and Matt Jones. They'll be okay. This is a tough day for Jonathan Hayes and his staff, but they're still one of the contenders in this league to win the whole thing.
What it is a three-way tie atop the Eastern Division, right? St. Louis, New York, and now D.C., all 3-2. And Tyree Jackson came in for Cardale Jones, who was benched. He probably hasn't played a full game since his days at Buffalo, obviously. You know he's got to be a little tired on a warm day, but boy, the spark that this team needed, and they got a great defensive effort. The special teams, obviously, too, with the block punt late. And there are the standings. Locked to the top of the East. 3 teams. Let's go down to the field with Jenny Taft.
Kevin, appreciate it. Now, Pep, we chatted before the game, and you talked about just getting back here, getting home, getting to business. But today was about your defense, holding St. Louis to 6 points, 4 sacks. What can you say about the performance?
You know, we talked about this last week. We've won games together. We've lost games together. The key for us is just to stay together and find a way to win games. Outstanding performance by our defense. Our defensive staff did a great job of coming up with a plan to slow down a really good St. Louis offense. And it feels good to be back home in front of the 12-pack. You see the snake. And find the victory.
And for Tyree Jackson, just getting in there and being efficient, what went into the decision to go with Tyree over Cardale?
Well, Tyree offers a different dynamic, just his ability to run the football, and he made plays. He made plays when we had to have plays, in critical situations. So we have 2 really good quarterbacks, and we're excited to see how we practice next week and see what we come up with.
It's crazy. We're halfway through the season. I know the 12-pack is excited. Where are you at in terms of this team?
Well, I think we're still searching for an identity. There's no excuse for us to put our defense in a situation late in the game to where they have to make another critical stop for us to secure the game. We got to do a better job of playing good situational football, but it's our job to find ways to win games, and our guys did it today.
Okay, thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
They did that. They found ways to win because it was a terrific defensive effort. And I think, I like what Pep did. He's talking about both of his quarterbacks, and Jackson wasn't, mind-blowingly good, but he made big plays at the right time for them.
He extended drives, converted 3rd downs, made some guys miss in the open field. I mean, he made that 1 first down. We joked about being 6'8", but if he's 6'5", he doesn't get it, right? He made it by the tip of the ball. He was just good enough. But as you said, the story of this game was the defense. Louis Chaffee kind of settling the troops down, making some changes, identifying some things that hadn't gone well the last couple weeks, and they came out today and just stifled a really good St. Louis offense.
There you go. Pep Hamilton going right to the snake. And we take a look at Fox Bet, the odds today. If you were a winner, you had DC. They covered the 4.5, and the under hitting, just 21 total points, well under the 38.5. Those odds provided by Fox Bet today. A defensive effort in DC. Back at home where they're 3-0. They obviously like playing in front of their home fans, and they get a much-needed win, and now there's a 3-way tie atop the Eastern Division. 15-6. Defenders take down the BattleHawks. More from our nation's capital after this. Back here in D.C. where the Defenders 3-0 at home. Amazing, right? 3 games at home. They've all played really, really well on the home. 2 stinkers, but they are 3-2, tied for the division lead. And I'll tell you what, you look at this young quarterback who coming on in, and Tyree Jackson, who didn't get the start, came in to give a little spark, and Greg, he did enough. He made plays like this and gained some yards when they really needed it.
He did. Like you said, he did just enough to extend drives, pick up critical first downs. We saw at the end of the game they didn't get a lot of yards, but they were able to milk a lot of the clock, reduce the amount of possession St. Louis had while they were down. You can't say enough about a young kid with not a lot of practice to come in, get his first action in for a win.
Jenny, why don't you tell us more about it?
Let's get to know Tyree as the fans behind me chanting his name. Look, you're a Michigan kid. You play at University of Buffalo. Now, just take me into today, your first XFL win, and just how it went for you.
Yeah, first off, I'd like to thank God. Without him, I wouldn't be here. And it was a great team win. The defense played unbelievable, special teams as well, and on offense, I felt like we scored when we needed to, so it was a good day.
I remember reading about you and something you said at the Combine, that you're always going to play with a chip on your shoulder. What can we expect from you moving forward?
Same thing, just the same guy every day. Just go out there and work hard, and it's easy when you got a team like this and guys that push you every day. And when I was out there playing, Cardell did a great job of keeping me up and and encouraging me. So it's just a great team atmosphere here at DC.
We're halfway through the season, which is kind of crazy. Clearly the fans are happy with what they're seeing, but how would you equate where this team is at right now?
I think we're on the way up, but I think we also have a ways to go. Never going to be mad about a win, but we got to finish some drives and score some more touchdowns. But anytime you get a win on a Sunday, it's a great day.
Go enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kevin?
It is a great day for DC and their fans. Jenny, thanks, and that young man will enjoy today. I mean, again, coming out of Buffalo, Jenny talked, Michigan kid, gets time with the Bills in preseason and was one of their cuts later in the preseason, and now, after signing here, gets a real chance and gets his team a win, Greg Olsen. And I think, though, when you look at it, as much as he did a very nice job, when you have a defense that shuts down one of the best offenses in the league and 2 4th-and-1 stops in the second half, that's pretty tough to top story-wise.
They were the story of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, Louis Chaffee, we talked about him a lot during the broadcast. He made no bones about it. The last couple weeks were unacceptable. That was not the style of play they were trying to build here in D.C. And, boy, did his guys answer. They were aggressive. They were downhill. They were very multiple. I think they gave Jordan Ta'amu a lot of different looks, both rushing the passer and different looks when it came to stopping their zone read, kind of downhill run game. I mean, they just put pressure on him all day. Very few times was he able to just hit his back foot and throw, or as he's accustomed to, hit his back foot, see a lane, and take off and run. Those lanes closed fast, and as you said, those big fourth quarter stops, none bigger there than at the end of the game when it was still a 9-point game. You can't say enough. Hats off to those guys. They played really well, and that's what they need to figure out carrying forward. How do we channel this home energy when we go on the road?
Yeah, I mean, we asked when we came on the air, who are they? What are they, right? I mean, we know they're good at home now because they've won every game at home, and they've played a different brand of football at home. And on the road, as Greg said, now can they bring that on the road as you see what's coming up for them with Dallas and Houston? That will not be easy. And then Tampa. I just think, though, when you look at where the league is, you're halfway home. Jenny said the season's halfway over now. And I think the beauty of it is, Houston's undefeated. So, of course, you're going to say, hey, they're the best team, right? But outside of that, I think there's a lot of parity, which I think is a good thing.
I think so, too. I think this back half of the season is going to be really exciting. See, can anybody distance themselves? As you said, Houston's kind of that top dog right now at 5-0. But then you got a lot of guys in that 3-2 mix. 3 of them in the East Division. I think St. Louis is a lot better than they showed today. I think they're a team that is balanced. I don't think what we saw the last couple weeks was a mirage. I think that's really what they are. I think today they got off balance. They came across a really good team at home, and I think it was more things not going their way than it was they're not as good a team as we thought. I think they're going to compete as this season continues to progress.
DC wins it. Greg enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun. Jenny Taft, Greg Olsen, our entire XFL on Fox team. I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Defenders defend their thing. I think it's